So as far as the third world aristocrat video from today goes, I gotta say, huge win for the toe and a stroke of genius on my part.
Mr. Radio Voice, he's doing his shows. He's roasting some ass and he's picking his nose. He speaks like a pro on the Steel Toe Show. He's making a mess and everyone knows. Ready or not, he already came. April is a hoe and she's snorting for fame. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He spilled the beans. He's rooting for rage as he gets her thrice. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He had a felony charge, but he's gonna walk. He's got a big mouth and he talks the talk. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. He's always a guest with Alex Stein. He's making a wish. He's taking his time. Another win for the toe. Win for the toe. Oh, hip hop dibbity dap to the wop 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 wop. Hong dong whittle dangle wang. Oh, he sang dooley mama splatting your hat. Doo to poot cakes.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you, Monograph. Thank you, Monty. Well, sir, I think you'd better drive your Mustang to the courthouse because Mr. Monograph will be driving it home. Harden has entered the chat on behalf of old Monty. Welcome to the show. It's the Steel Toe Evening Show. Let's not have any of that shit tonight. Let's get back to boring old Toe. As Meme Copium says, let's get back to being a golf dad. We've got a lot of good stories, a lot of good clips, a lot of good stuff to watch. We're going up. Red Bar's back tonight. It's a time for the celebration. And look, I love you. I do. I love you so much that I put the shirt back on. So after the show this morning, I went to the gym. I'm out of shape, by the way, after going on vacation and the drinking and all of that. Like, I didn't gain any weight on vacation, but I did damage. And I went back to the gym today, and whew, was it a bit of a slog. It was a bit of a slog today. Getting back into the boxing and all that at the gym today. I've definitely, I got to get my steps back. That's for sure. But I took this off. I changed into my gym clothes here at home. I went home. I took a shower. I had this nice and laid out on the bed. And I put this shirt back on because I knew that you guys were going to want me to wear the shirt for the evening show, too. You wanted this to be an all-day experience because you love my Florida shirt from Freaky Tiki. Wait until I wear my hooded tank top. You're going to love that. That one's going to be the best. The tank hoodie, oh, so cool. Or my sleeveless Hogan shirt, my Hulkamania, my yellow Hulkamania that I got from the Hogan Beach Shop. I haven't shown you guys the pictures from the Hogan Beach Shop yet. Oh my God. We haven't done vacation pics yet. OMG. Let's do that right now. Let's go. I'm going to go into the Toe Boys page here. And you guys post like a million fucking things a day, so I got to scroll through some of these. Let's go. Save image as Hulkster image and open that bad boy. And this is the real Hulk Hogan WCW World Heavyweight Championship belt. And there's your fearless leader in his beautiful hooded tank. Don't zoom in on my tits, you fucking creep. And there I am with the 25 pounds of gold. The WCW World Heavyweight Championship with the NWO spray painted over it, right next to the man Hollywood Hogan. Look at that stud. Like I belong there. Like that belt looks good on me. They ought to put the strap on me. Don't say strap on with this audience. But there we go. That $20 to take SP took like a 3-minute video and took still shots out of it for my pictures. $20 to take a video and pictures with the real 25 pounds of gold, the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Now, for those of you who are wrestling fans, you'll appreciate this. That is the World Heavyweight Championship belt from the 2000 Bash at the Beach. It still has the Jeff Jarrett nameplate on it. Hulk Hogan took that belt home. They were supposed to do this big thing where they strip him of the title, but he keeps the title. He goes away for a while. They have a tournament, and they crown a new champion. And at the end of that tournament, Hogan shows back up and says, no, now we're going to fight for the real championship. Vince Russo got in the ring, cut a big promo, called Hulk Hogan a bald piece of shit. Hulk Hogan sued WCW. That was the last time he was ever in the company, and he took that belt home with him. So I got, as a wrestling nerd, getting to take pictures with the 2000 Bash at the Beach belt. And that's the real Hulkster right behind me. I know a lot of people think that that's a statue. That's actually Hulk Hogan. He was there. We took some pictures. We went next door. We had a cigar after. It was great. I can't believe I haven't shown you guys the Hulkster photo yet. Oh my God. Well, welcome to the show. It is the final evening show of the week already. It's the final evening show of the week already. And here we are. Beautiful shirt, beautiful pictures, great audience, a perfect week still intact. Wallsball says the rumor has it SP is pregnant because of the vacation. No, she is not pregnant because of the vacation. No, that is not the case. We got actual Steel Toe fan and King of All Yetis seething in the chat. Sorry, guys. I know. Look. I know it's a really difficult week for you guys. I'm taking it easy on you. I really am, because it's been a tough week. The whole thing is crumbling around you. We're kicking your ass. And, you guys can stick around. As long as you don't spam and just say the same obnoxious copes that you have over and over. I know you're wounded. I know you're hurting. I know you took a beating from the toe. Both hands tied behind my back, by the way. You've had to take the beating. Your heroes have been proven to be false gods. You got too into the internet. Your religion was beaten and battered and broken, and now you have to hang on to the remnants of what's left. Or admit your faults, admit you were wrong, admit you took it all seriously. Aaron tried to help you. I'm a loving and forgiving God. I will take you in and comfort you in the bosom of the toe. But something tells me people who make the kind of mistakes you do, you never really change course. Oh, man. Actual Steel Toe fan, don't let me know that I get to you, buddy. We're always going to pick and poke at you. You come here to be humiliated. You're my cuck. Renegger says SP got pregnant from looking at a Cuban. Renegger says, if you force me to listen to your gay drama, I'm unsubbing. We are having a drama-free show today. Well, and mostly because I don't think anybody did anything retarded today, did they? I know somebody fell asleep during their stream. I know their fingers are turning blue from nitrous abuse. Other than that, I think that's it. Nobody did anything retarded today. Everybody behaved. I think they kind of got tired of taking steel toe L's. And everybody kind of laid low. We did beat up the girls a little bit. We pretty much wiped out Pretty Antisocial. They only have 2,000 subs now because of the toe. We helped them get there. I told you. I told you that I am a loving and giving God. And I gave those girls the gift of 2,000 subs. Nick couldn't do it. Patrick couldn't do it. But you put the toe on the job, and we just put our finger on the scale a little bit, and they shot past 2K. You are welcome. Let's go to JH says, Aaron, thoughts on Nick seething at the name Rage Tweak? Look, that guy, I mean, he's dying. He's dying, and it's rough to watch. Ed Harlow with $1 says, yeah, dummy, she's pregnant because of the sex. Oh, is that how it works? God damn. Mr. Me with $10 says we should start each show with a public service announcement on the dangers and effects of long-term use of galaxy gas. Maybe through one effect, maybe go through one effect per day, maybe a video. I don't know. That seems, I mean, I've kind of been beating up the vulnerable lately. I should probably stop. I'm inviting a lot of bad karma. Cody with $5 says, we get it, man. You can't stop calling your shirt a bussy magnet. Attaboy. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate that. All right. Let's get into it tonight. 180 is the number. 180 is where we're at, and we've got our final evening show of the week. We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, a lot of clips. I'm excited to see if Red Bar got his gift package, his steel toe gift package that we sent a while back. If Red Bar has it, if he debuts it on the show tonight, I'm really excited. I hope he does it. Here's what I think we should do. And this is just a suggestion. You guys can do whatever it is you'd like to do. I think we should all just be throwing like unbelievable gobs of money at steel toe, like right away, right off the bat, right now. And we should just call it a day. Like, we'll still do the whole show, obviously, but like, let's just call the goal a day and let's just wipe the whole thing out. Doesn't that sound cool? That sounds like the right way to go. So let's do PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's see what we can do. Ooh, a private message. I'm trying to set something up for tonight. It is a super, super long shot, but I'm trying to set something up. Okay. It's still in the air. I don't think it's going to happen tonight, but we will. I'm trying to book something for tonight's show, but I don't know if it's really going to work out. All right, let's go into some things. I got some stuff for Minnesota people. It was the first day of OTAs today. And if you don't know what that means, you're not a man. OTAs are basically the start of the football calendar, optional team activities. So you don't have to go. The entire Minnesota Vikings roster showed up for OTAs. We're in it to win it this year, baby. J.J. McCarthy was there. He's looking fantastic, looking really, really good. Judd Zolgad from Purple Daily had a little update here on the Vikings' first day of OTAs. I'm excited about this season. I think we've got something special. We loaded up in free agency. We're ready to win right now. Let's hear what Judd had to say.
Afternoon Judd, sponsored by Quick Trip. All right, Vikings indoors.
I want to get a video in my car sponsored by Quick Trip. God, if I could stay out of legal trouble for like a year. Maybe we could start at like a local Somali gas station and work our way up. Today's show brought to you by Somali Kings Convenience Store and Gas. And then eventually we'll show that we can provide a little income for the Somali Kings. And then once the Somali Kings, the word gets out about what we've been doing with them, we work our way up to Casey's and then maybe Quick Trip.
Today, because of the rain, OTA number 2, first OTA that the media was allowed to watch. Plenty of takeaways. I'll try and cram a bunch in here. And, of course, Judd's Camp Notes is part of Purple Daily on Thursday, tomorrow as well. That will be the full extent of the notes.
Kind of jealous of these newspaper guys. They can just be ugly.
From what we saw, first off, J.J. McCarthy. McCarthy was running the first team today. Looked good, said he feels great. The arm looks good. Now, getting a read on how he's playing, folks, is going to be very difficult.
Just say he's awesome. You're a homer anyway. Come on. I got my Florida festive shirt on. Just say that JJ looks amazing. He's incredible. Nobody can stop him. Oh, my God, with this guy. Unbelievable.
because they're installing things. So they're basically going through the progressions of a system. So it's not like they're going full speed right now. So I'm hard pressed to give you like a play-by-play of McCarthy's day, but I will say that
he's not going to give us a play-by-play of McCarthy's day, but he will say he can lay by the bay and make things out of clay. He just may.
Things went pretty well, and here's a reason why they went well. Attendance. Justin Jefferson, ordinarily not at all the OTAs. He's been at the first two. Jordan.
He got a giant fucking contract last season. That's why he's at OTAs. He wasn't at OTAs last year because he's like, look, we're still finalizing this new extension deal, all right? This year, he's the highest paid receiver in the history of football, and he's like, you know what? I think I might turn up. I think I might show up for this one.
Addison here. Everybody the Vikings basically want here offensively is here. Will Fry's not participating. Christian Darrisaw not participating because of injury. But nonetheless, Kevin O'Connell very happy with the attendance at this.
All right. Awesome. So great news for the Vikings. And, you know, this is not me, you know, focusing on the Vikings because I'm giving up on my Timberwolves. I'm not giving up on the Timberwolves. Teams have come back from down 3-1 before. All right. Now, tonight at 7:30, we got a chance. We can, if we can win this one, we send it back to Minnesota for Game 6. You get the win at home. Now it's a whole new series. You just got to win a couple, and then it's brand new again, and we can go to the NBA Finals for the first time in team history. So I'm not giving up on the Timberwolves. We've still got this. We can still beat the Thunder. I don't have to pay Timothy $130 yet. I may have to by the end of the night, but I think we're going to get another one. I think we've got one more in us. I'm not giving up on my guys. Look what happened. Like I gave up on the Twins, and they ran off like 13 wins in a row. So who knows what can happen? Let's go to Chad Buzamok. He says, I've been busy, missed all the shows. Yeah, you know, we didn't need you to help us celebrate all our wins while I was on vacation. And also, I get it. I understand, Buzamok. It's bad for your cred to be able to admit that the toe just fucking swept it the last couple of weeks. So I understand. I get why you had to keep your distance. He said, glad you got yourself a true gay shirt in the gay key. Oh, Clearwater Beach. Clearwater Beach, Florida is where I was. Dusty Rhodes says, Timberwolves is for the common man, if you will. Absolutely. We've got it tonight, man. We're going to get the W. We're going to take care of this thing. We're going to force a Game 6. You bring the series back to Minnesota. It's easy. It's just one step at a time. I promise. All right, let's go. All right, enough about the Vikings. Oh, wait. We have an update from Red Bar. Jules right now says, I would write for Steel Toe for free. I mean, I don't have any writers. I know that's hard to believe. A lot of people say, oh, you don't have writers? Yeah, I know. All this comes right from here, right off the top. Hour of prep, we're good. Oh, I saw a cope from Tukey. We had a Tukey cope today. So I was busting a little balls. I was just having some fun, and I was like, Tukey asked me to go on their Aaron group therapy hug box show on Friday after when Kiki was kicking everybody's fucking ass and Tukey had to tuck tail and run because he didn't want to. He was smart. He didn't want to be part of that. He didn't want any part of that fucking murder that killed that show forever. That show's done credibility-wise. They'll still have their hug box people. I mean, what, you got to combine Carl. You got like 6 different guys' audience. I mean, could you imagine you're combining like 5 or 6 different guys' audience so you can muster 1,000? I mean, shit, we can do 800 on our own. I mean, Jesus. You might as well throw the Quad Father in there at this point. But Keanu completely killed that show for good. Tukey had to hightail it out of there. But he sent me 3 messages. And I said today, Tukey sent me messages that said, please come on the show. I want to issue a correction because I've hurt Tukey's feelings to the point where he had to post the DMs. I apologize to Tukey. I said that he asked me nicely to come on the show. He said, please, Aaron, come on the show. I was wrong. He sent me 3 unanswered messages begging me to come on the show. He released the DMs today. I apologize. I made it look like Tukey was being like a normal human being. It was more, come in here, go get him, you got him, go get him. He sent me 3 of those, completely unanswered, didn't give a shit, and he just kept sending them. So I'm sorry, Tukey, I apologize. It was more like desperately fangirling to try and get me on the show, but I wanted to help save you some dignity and show that you were doing it very nicely. He decided to show the DMs, which were not a good look once again. I mean, Jesus, I'm not that hard to defeat, but when you're surrounded by complete retards, I don't need a publicist with A-logs like this. So thank you, Tukey, for doing me that favor. Another win for the toe. As I've once again understated how big of a win it was for me. You know, and that's my biggest problem, is that I'm too humble. I think out of all my problems that I've admitted to, I really haven't confronted the big elephant in the room, and that is Patrick Melton. I mean, that is the fact that I'm far too humble, and I maybe need to embrace my accomplishments a little bit more. I'm just kidding. Making these retards look stupid is not an accomplishment. If you can't do it, you should probably just pack it up. All right, guys, let's continue. We've got lots of other stuff to get to. We got the Stefon Diggs clip. I don't know if you've seen this. So Stefon Diggs is dating Cardi B. Stefon Diggs is also a giant piece of shit. These two things are happening at the same time. When Stefon Diggs was a Minnesota Viking, the running joke in the Vikings locker room was none of the players would let Diggs date their sister. We all kind of thought it was a joke, like they were just fucking with Stefon Diggs. No, apparently he's just a giant cockroach. And there was a video now of Stefon Diggs on Cardi B's, well, they were either on Cardi B's boat or he was on a boat with his girlfriend, Cardi B. And right there, while she's on the boat, they have a video now of Stefon flirting openly with these other 3 women and then pulling out a mysterious pink substance. Now, I'm not well versed on what these different substances are. I mean, my MO for girls is not to get them hooked on drugs and make them dependent on you and then pretend it's love. That's not really my thing. That's more of an incel loser, marry the first girl that touches your wiener kind of a thing. But hey, to each their own. Stefon Diggs pulls out this pink substance as he's flirting with these 3 girls. And now, like, it's become this thing where the Patriots have had to talk about it. The head coach is having to address it. Like, it's becoming a really big deal for the New England Patriots. And it just shows you that, like, the changing times, because 20, 30 years ago, when, you know, not everyone had a goddamn camera in their pocket, athletes would do shit that was 10 times shadier than this. I mean, Tiger Woods was fucking every Perkins waitress from here to Tokyo for who knows how long while he was married. And when his wife finally found out from going through his phone the old-fashioned way, she took a driver to his vehicle while he was backing out. Stefon Diggs, this is him flirting with a few girls and pulling some shit out of his pocket. And now all of a sudden he's front page news. You almost feel bad for these guys. Do you remember the Love Boat? This was, SP was telling me that, like, her work did this thing where they took a charter boat out on Lake Minnetonka, Alan Alma's. And that's the name of the company that does these charters on Lake Minnetonka. And I looked at her, I go, oh my God, you were on the Love Boat? She goes, what? I go, the fucking Love Boat. So back in 2000, the Minnesota Vikings had this incident where a bunch of their players in the offseason rented a charter boat, and they just brought a bunch of drugs and hookers on this boat, and it got busted. It got busted. It became this whole black eye for the Minnesota Vikings, just bad for the whole team. It really just kind of followed them for the entire next season. But again, if the Love Boat thing would have happened today, we'd have video uploaded to Twitter the night of. You'd have a bunch of people walking around taking video and releasing it. Like it was back then, it was a little bit easier to hide this shit. The flip side of that is now when this stuff all comes out, nobody cares. People are like, oh, yeah, that's what they do. Like if the Love Boat guys would have been caught now, we're so like oversaturated with this kind of stuff. We'd just be like, oh, yeah, I guess that's what they do. Well, Mike Vrabel, the new head coach of the New England Patriots, who wants to try and put together a winning season for once, now has to deal with the Stefon Diggs situation.
Video of Stefon Diggs has gotten a lot of traction in the last 24 hours or so. He's on a boat having a good time, but the question comes in as to a certain substance that people are guessing what is and isn't. Is this something that the team has to look into?
What's a pink? Somebody described it as a pink like cream substance. I don't know what that would be.
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. And we're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call-up periods, that we're making great decisions. And so the message will be the same for all our players, that we're trying to make great decisions. And
you can just tell in his demeanor and his slumped shoulders and looking down, he doesn't want to fucking talk about this. All these football coaches, it's the last thing they want to talk about. And he's just trying to put together a bullshit answer that satisfies these people. So the next question will not be about Stefon Diggs. But which one of these guys? You got to remember, all these sports reporters wanted to be real news reporters. So this is like their big chance to be like, Mr. President, how do you feel about Israel's response to your Iran negotiations? Like this is the closest they're going to get to that. So they want to ask him nothing. He wants them to ask them about Drake May until the cows come home. But they just want to talk about Stefon Diggs.
Conversations that I've had with Stefon will remain between him and I and the club.
Have you talked to him since the video?
I talk to our players every single day, the ones that are here and the ones that aren't.
Are you expecting him to practice today, Mike?
Not if he's not here.
So he's not here.
You guys will find out in a minute.
Isn't that kind of shitty? Like, it's OTAs. I know it's optional team activities. You don't have to. But you also don't have to be on a boat with you don't have to do boats and hoes. There's like staying home for OTAs because, look, he's 31 years old, probably doesn't want to get banged up, doesn't want to get hurt, might be nursing some injuries from last year still. That's okay. But don't go on a boat with a bunch of bitches. Like, at least if you're not going to go to the team's activities, lay low and chill at home. Have a little bit of respect. But while the rest of the team is out there busting your ass and you're on a boat with Cardi B and the Ho Brigade, it's not a great look.
But no, again.
He was here last week, according to a video.
Everything that we're going to do, Karen, is we're going to coach the guys that show up at 8. The ones that say, hey, I got a situation, we'll be here at 8:05. We'll coach those as well. This is a voluntary part of our off-season program. And every player that's not here, which there aren't many, have been in communication with me and their position coaches.
I was just going to ask, based on what you've seen from the times he's been around, how would you say he's progressing?
Again, the timelines and the prognosis and everything again, we're working hard to get him back and to be ready to go. But when he's here, we'll coach him and we'll have everything.
Yeah, he's doing his best, but he doesn't want to talk about fucking Stefon. Of course, Stefon Diggs has never been a team player. Stefon Diggs is not there for OTAs. We don't need to keep belaboring the point. So here's the clip that everyone's talking about. This is Stefon Diggs on the Cardi B boat. That's his new girlfriend, while he's macking on some hoes and pulling some kind of substance out in front of him. Like, where's Cardi B? Isn't she like a bad bitch? Isn't she a street bitch? Didn't she used to like drug dudes and steal their wallets? Shouldn't Cardi B be getting in there throwing fucking elbows and telling these bitches to back off? Where's the fucking pride in your man? Where's the pride in your relationship? Don't be one of those girls who's like, oh, yeah, I'm cool. My man. Yeah, girls like my man. I got to go. No. They're going to fuck him. It's not like he's on display and they know, hands off the merchandise. If you keep letting this go, get in there with a steel chair, some pepper spray, start throwing some elbows, bitch. His some of these girls weren't even alive when this song was released. Stefon, we're old, dude. Playing our old jams on there. So now what is that? What is that shit? But let's put this on the big screen. What is this shit right here? What is that pink substance that he just opens up with a flip top? I don't know what that is. I don't know what comes in pink. But I know that ain't how you pull out chewing gum. I know that's not how you pull out like Mike and Ike's and shit. So something weird's going on there. And now, like, that's what I mean, though. You don't have to go to OTAs. All right, fine. You don't have to go on OT. Don't go on OTAs. But don't go on a boat and pull illicit substances out in front of a bunch of dumb broads either. Like, let's try to keep it. Don't humiliate your team while you're not even there. Okay? Papa Shab says, oh, shit, they're arguing. Oh, they're taking it to actual Steel Toe fan. Boy, I tell you, that actual Steel Toe fan, I'll give him credit for one thing. He has no shame, and he gets the shit beat out of him and has to watch the Toe keep winning. But, I mean, he takes the beating like a champ. Papa Shab says, I'd argue that Patrick destroyed himself when he said, 13 years ago, I wrote a song about a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old having sex. Yeah, dude, he admitted to being a pedo right on the air. And by the way, I've said this before. When you have fans like actual Steel Toe fan and you have people like that, you can say the most repugnant shit. Like, those people are so obsessed with me and so they're Citizen M said it. An actual Steel Toe wearer is one of these people. He is a Citizen M. Citizen M said it perfectly. It's my religion. I can't abandon it. Meaning he knows he's wrong. He knows I've won. He knows it's over. And I have. And it is. But all these guys, the mistake they're making is thinking that it's just M. No, it's Steel Toe wearer. It's all these other people. They can't help it. I've broken their brain. I've won the game. It's over. Only thing I got to worry about is the goal. These other guys, the whole internet outside of that hug box, and this is what Steel Toe wearer is having a problem with. The entire internet's on my side, and they don't even like me. That's how fucking bad you guys are. That's how fucking bad of an optic it is. The guy admits to being a pedo. Bro. You know what I love about Carl? Carl was so desperate because the Stuttering John money had dried up. He was so desperate to find a new Stuttering John that he ended up accidentally teaming up with the new Stuttering John Melendez. I mean, Nick Rekieta has all the hallmarks of Stuttering John. Used to have some media notoriety, flushed it all away, fucked it all up, now is back in the garbage with everybody else, substance problems. The only problem is Stuttering John is a better person, and he maintained himself better than Nick. Nick is like a worse version of John. So I think the magic of this is now Carl is having to justify going from the main making fun of John guy to now allying with the new John. It's so perfect. So perfect. And again, as long as I just don't do anything, the Toe keeps winning. People are trying to ask cinnamon Altoids, Deutsch Chad says. It's ketamine plus MDMA. Brian says Google pink cocaine. All right, pink cocaine. Images. Oh, yeah, that's what he had. Oh, dude, that's 100% what he had. That was pink cocaine that Stefon had. Oh, shit. Well, there you go. Party drug cocktail, pink cocaine. I think we figured it out. It's a mixture of substances which is dyed pink, may have a sweet smell, and typically produces mind-altering, hallucinogenic effects. So not only did you abandon your team, but you hung out with a bunch of hoes that weren't your girl, and you pulled out pink cocaine live on video. It's unfortunate we got rid of him here in Minnesota. It's too bad. Chad Buzamok says it's Pop Rocks. Well, okay. Or it's Pop Rocks. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go to... Oh, yeah. Sam Show says, like, this dude, steel toe wearer or steel toe fan, actually thinks he's in control. Shh, don't tell him. Dude, he is so buck broken and so butthurt that he comes here to take a beating. He might have a humiliation fetish. Ooh, boy. Carl is deeply closeted. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Aaron was on the nude beach with SP. No, I was not on a nude beach. Of course not. Hablo Pacheco says, yep, Diggs' contract definitely not getting renewed. Probably not. Chad Buzamok says, Stefon Diggs, what is he, an excavator or something?
Home run, Jefferson. Go to break.
Oh, boy. I don't, the thing about Diggs is, like, when he's on the field, he's very good. There's a reason the Patriots took a chance on him, but God, he's never not been a headache. Like in Minnesota, we had to get rid of him because he was a bitchy, whiny pain in the ass. They had to get rid of him in Buffalo because he was a bitchy, whiny pain in the ass, and he kept getting into it with Josh Allen, and Josh Allen had to keep setting him straight. And now he goes to New England, and he hasn't even played a fucking down for the Patriots. And already he's pulling out the pink powder and fucking around with the hose. Great job, Steph. Great job. Guys, 180 is the number for tonight. Go in and throw in a few bucks. Let's call it a W. Let's call it a win tonight. It is our final evening show of the week, so send us home. We've been knocking out all our goals this week. This morning was really tough. Last night went easy. Tuesday went easy. Let's knock this one out nice and easy. The earlier we get started, and we got 2 hours left, the earlier we get started, the easier it is. So just start throwing in your 5s and 10s now. We'll have no problem. Please and thank you. This is a lot better than me going, let's fucking go at the end of the show. So just let me do this part. You respond. We'll knock this out nice and easy. I love gifted memberships. And I love PayPal, Streamlabs, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. So go bananas. I'll keep doing the show. You take care of the money part. We've got this. One more sports story for today, and then we'll get off the sport. I'm being very self-indulgent. I'm doing the kind of show I like to do. I apologize for that. We do have Mad Dog Russo losing his shit on ESPN today. Mad Dog, I think I might like more than Stephen A. I think Mad Dog might be my new guy. Mad Dog was upset that there was some kind of power situation at ESPN, like the electricity. And he blamed it on the giant contract that they gave Stephen A. Smith. And this is why I love Mad Dog Russo.
Power. So, Mad Dog, tell us why you're mad. I'm sure you're not happy about this.
If they didn't pay Stephen A. $400 million, maybe they could pay the freaking bills. ESPN, Bert, Jimmy, and the fellas. I mean, goodness gracious, how dare you, squeeze me and stick me in a hallway with strikes from 2000. Look at these stupid streets. I mean, right here. Look at that. I don't like that. You took me away from my site. Or because you got to pay him $150 million guaranteed.
Now, Stephen A. Smith, great sense of humor about it. Mad Dog Russo, let's get the percentages out, guys. 80% joking, 85% joking. There's a kernel of truth in every jest. And there is a part of... Now, look, I don't think Mad Dog Russo is delusional enough to think that he's the draw that Stephen A. Smith is, but Mad Dog Russo's no slouch either. Ain't no doorknob either. How much is Mad Dog making? Mad Dog, ESPN, salary. Oh, his initial salary for appearing on First Take was $10,000 per episode. That's $50,000 per week. That's $200,000 a month. So that's about $2.5 million. Oh, yeah, I'd be pissed too. I'd be pissed too. $2.5 million versus $400 million. Oh, damn, dude. ESPN declined to comment on his new contract. It's widely assumed that he has received a raise. He has since signed a multi-year extension to continue appearing on the show. $3 million a year. He got 5 years, $15 million. That's the rumor. And Stephen A. Smith just signed a $400 million deal with ESPN. It's got to sting a little bit, right? It's got to sting a little. Das Optic Nerve with $1 says, have you worn that shirt all day and not yet gotten your ass beat? I don't think so. I didn't get my ass beat today. I think I gave as good as I got today. But no, I did not wear this to the gym. I didn't, this was not the shirt that I wore. I took this off, changed into my gym clothes because I knew after I got back from the gym and I showered, you guys were going to want me to put this on for this evening. So I did. I wore it just for you guys because I knew that you weren't ready to say goodbye. Thank you, Das Optic Nerve. I appreciate that. 180 away from tonight's goal. Let's rally it up. Let's throw a few bucks in the old kitty and see if we can't knock it out for our final evening show of the week. All right, this is the clip that today's episode is named after. Today's episode is named after David Hogg. Now, Project Veritas, which is not owned by James O'Keefe anymore, was able to sit down with David Hogg, which is funny. Like anybody who sits down with James O'Keefe or anybody who sits down with Project Veritas, like you got to wonder how they did it, because classically the way these guys do this is they meet up with these guys on Grindr. So like the gays are the yappiest ones, like whether it's old Twitter, whether it's, like Bernie Sanders staff, Elizabeth Warren staff, the CNN people, the drug companies, when they've gotten interviews with them, it's always the gays who they give them a couple of martinis. They go out for drinks. They take a couple sips and all of a sudden, oh my God, let me tell you what we're doing. We are trying to fuck over Trump so bad. We're trying to install Biden as president. We're trying to censor stories and take down right-wing stuff. It's so great. It's like one bowl of loudmouth soup, and all of a sudden it all comes pouring out. And then the worst thing is, like these Project Veritas and James O'Keefe people, they're not gay. So the gay boy who's giving them all this information is getting all these drinks. They met on Grindr, and he doesn't even get his dick wet. Poor guy. Just goes in, thinks he's getting ready for a night of monkeypox and all kinds of wild shit, and all he does is give up all the tea, and the person goes, all right, see you later. Wait, aren't we going to go back to my place? No, I'm not gay. Oh. Then why did we do this? You'll see. So in this clip, they've got David Hogg. So my question immediately, seeing as David Hogg gave up all this information about the Biden administration to Project Veritas, is, was this a gay date for David Hogg? Was this David Hogg trying to, cruise for man ass, and he ended up spilling all the beans? Because remember, until like a couple weeks ago, David Hogg was the vice chairman of the Democratic National Committee, and they thought, we got David Hogg, he's going to help us talk to young men. The only thing is, young men think David Hogg's a little bitch, so they ain't going to follow him. So he's been cut loose. Well, I don't know if David's feeling a little bitter or what the deal is. But David sat down with the Project Veritas journalist, and he spilled all the details on the Biden administration. Now, while this is kind of a bombshell, it's more of like, I think it's more of like a confirmation of what we already knew versus new information that we didn't know about. This is David Hogg talking to Project Veritas about the Biden administration.
Is the DNC if so many people knew, or few people knew about Biden, well, the president of the United States?
I mean, I think the fact of the matter is the DNC is always going to be like a campaign arm of the president, ultimately.
The bigger issue was like the inner circle that was around Biden. That's it.
Like, here's the thing. Like, all of these guys are like inside guys. Like, you should have a little bit of loyalty, a little bit of secrecy. These guys will be eating a fucking omelet and they'll just blab to a guy they just met. They'll just be sitting there going like, hey, we just met, David. How's it going? Oh, it's going pretty great. Hey, what happened with the Biden administration? Oh, God. Oh, I can't wait to tell you. So Joe Biden was never in control and his team was controlling the whole thing. And sit down. I got like 10 minutes of stuff to throw at you here. This is really good. These guys like have no sense of secrecy. Why do they tell dipshits like this anything? This is why, like, this is the only thing stopping me from being a hardcore, all the way conspiracy guy, is that people are too catty and bitchy and gossipy to keep really big shit a secret. This is why I do believe the Bush administration had some knowledge of 9/11. They wanted to use 9/11 to pursue their plans in the Middle East and regime change and invade countries. But I don't think they orchestrated 9/11 because I don't think our government could have orchestrated 9/11 and all these fucking people could have kept it a secret. I mean, Joe Biden wasn't in charge in the White House and people are just blabbing it to the first guy, you know, that comes up to him in a restaurant and says hello.
And I can't stress to you enough.
Like Joe Biden's chief of staff, like had an enormous amount of power.
Joe Biden?
Joe Biden's chief of staff.
That was like an open secret at the level. Like, I would avoid him. Like, he was scary.
So that was Deterian Jones.
What was his name?
Anthony Bernal.
So Anthony Bernal, the senior advisor to Jill Biden, this black dude and David Hogg both say he was kind of running the show. You know how we all joke that Jill Biden had her, you know, arm up Joe Biden's ass and was working him like a puppeteer? Turns out we weren't that far off. It was the senior advisor to Jill Biden, Anthony Bernal. Like, he was calling the shots and he was running this shadow government, essentially.
I've never seen him.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
He's like a shadowy, like, Wizard of Oz type figure. That's what made him so, like, I knew how he looked, but I'm like, the general public wouldn't know how this man looked. But he wielded an enormous amount of power, and I can't stress to you how much power he had at the White House.
So that's their big expose, and they'll have they usually do 1 hour episodes on stuff like this. And again, it's not going to be, oh my God, I had no idea. It's basically going to allow you to go, oh, okay, I'm not crazy. At least, I knew this is what it was. Do we have a couple other clips of David Hogg, a few other super cuts of this?
Foundational question for me is how corrupt is the DNC if so many people knew, or few people knew about Biden? Well, the president of the United States. I mean, I think the fact of the matter is the DNC is always going to be like a campaign.
Okay, so that's just a different version of the same clip. They're going to release the whole thing, and this is going to be big. Why give this guy all this information? If you know these people are so fucking chatty, and they're so bitchy, and they're so vindictive, why do you give them so much info? But they do. They give these guys all the drama, all the tea, and they just spill it constantly. Oh, wait a minute. People are saying something in the chat. Is this for real? Anthony Bernal. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna stop Googling. I'm just gonna stop Googling completely. I'm just fucking done. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that that's what it is. 191 Redbird with $5 says there's a reason gays were considered a security risk in the Pentagon until recently. I mean, look, man, there's no denying it. They're chatty. they like to spill tea, as the kids say. What are you gonna do? Thank you, Redbird, for the $5. That puts Redbird in first place. Congratulations, buddy. Redbird is now in first place at $75. And that's going to put JD in second at 70. And then you've got a couple of other people sitting in third and fourth. In third place, we've got Thermodyne Diesel with $50 and Toad Climbs Mountains with 47. We have knocked out all of our goals this week. Not one person is over $100. I love that. That's great. Guys, keep those $5 drop-ins coming. We appreciate it. Very, very nice of you. Skeezy Whitefish says, stop noticing, you assholes. Exactly. Chad Buzamok says, Google pink sock. No. It wasn't about the color pink with the Stefon Diggs thing. It was about the cocaine part. I'm sorry. I confused Buzamok. He hasn't been here all week. I apologize. It was not, these were not things about the color pink. It's something completely different. And you know what? If there was any confusion on the matter, I would like to apologize first and foremost for creating said confusion. 175 away from tonight. We do need to knock out these goals. Let's go. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. Keep it moving. Let's get it done tonight. Big drops. Let's get the big ones in there. The big gifted memberships, the big PayPals, the big Venmos. Let's kill my stress level, because I tell you what, I've said it a million times. We defeated all our enemies. I have so much fun doing the content of this show, hanging out with you guys in the chat. My only stress every day is the goal, and that is, look, I'm blessed that that's my only stress every day is that goal. But that just means the quicker you guys get that lowered, the better things are here. So thank you very much. If you love the show and you never have contributed a dime, we love you too. Hit like, hit share, grow the show. We've been doing great. But if you got a few bucks and you want to show your support, please do that as well. 175 away. A little big number for an hour and 40 minutes left. Let's knock it down a little, see what we can do. This might be my favorite story of the night. We've got a lot of good ones tonight, and we have a bunch of good ones for tomorrow. I'm really excited about these shows. Like I said, if these fucking drama pigs would stop doing retarded shit and being caught being liars and thieves and tramps and things like that, I could just do the show that I love doing, which is what we're doing right now. Dare I say, fucking hilarious. This next story has to do with, and I think this is going to be really telling for you guys, for the audience, whose side you take in this story. It's a fat lady. All right, now look, I hear a lot of you already taking the other person's side. Wait until I do the whole thing. It's a fat lady on an airplane, and then it's a shit-talking little kid on an airplane. All right, we got a little kid talking shit and a big fat lady, and they're on the airplane. So we're going to find out where your biases are. A shit-talking little kid getting his comeuppance, or a fat lady getting bullied on an airplane. You have to decide whose side you're on. And look, we're going to get you some details here. Maybe it'll help you. Here we go.
On board a Memorial Day flight out of Sanford.
Orlando Sanford Airport police arresting this woman, Christy Crampton, who they say repeatedly hit a child on a plane. She's charged with felony child abuse. Channel 9's Ashlyn Webb explains what witnesses...
Felony child abuse. So she beat the shit out of him on a plane, like whooped his ass on the plane. Hit the kid. I also heard that she like slammed his head into the side of the plane like a turnbuckle smash in wrestling. So what did this kid do to make her so upset?
Say led up to the woman being cuffed.
Airport police say they arrested her at the gate after the pilot requested for law enforcement. This arrest report says it all started with the child calling the woman fat and Miss Piggy.
All right. I don't know where you stand on the whole thing yet. I'm on the kid's side. That's fucking hilarious. Inappropriate or not, it was pretty goldarn hilarious. A fat lady walks onto the plane. It's already going to be uncomfortable. She's not going to fit right in the seat. Flying is going to be terrible because she can't lay off second helpings and extra trips to the buffet. And then the last thing you want to hear is some little kid in a high-pitched voice go, "Who's that big fat Miss Piggy?" And she just had it that day, and she snapped and decided, you know what? I don't care what happens to me. I'm smacking the shit out of this kid right here, right now. I understand both of them. I do. I understand both of them. I think it's hilarious when kids do mildly mean things to adults. I can also understand someone who's had it with being made fun of being fat, sees a little kid making fun of him and goes, God, it would be cathartic to just smack this little shit-talking bastard around. I get it. I understand. I'm on the kid's side. And you know what? Good for him, because he got to take his shit. He got to talk his shit, got to call her fat, got to call her Miss Piggy. Pretty good insult for a kid. And all he had to do was take a little beating, and he'll be fine. As long as he didn't get sat on.
Christy Lee Crampton was set to be back home from her family's Disney World vacation. Instead, she made her first appearance in front of a Seminole County judge Tuesday, charged with felony child abuse. Allegiant Flight 2885 to Hagerstown, Maryland was set to take off from Orlando Sanford International Airport just before 2 p.m. Monday. But according to this arrest report, Crampton and witnesses on the plane tell police the child called Crampton fat and Miss Piggy.
Why is that never not funny to me? Why is the idea of a little kid on a plane calling? And by the way, you got to go out of your way to do that. Like the little kid could just be sitting in his seat, playing on his tablet, watching the in-flight movie or whatever. But instead, he sees a woman. He has to stop what he's doing, and he has to just out loud call her fat and Miss Piggy. Like, and his parents are there. He's probably flying with his parents. So he's being a little shitbag in front of mom and dad, which also takes balls. I don't know. I think there's a lot to celebrate with this kid. And he can apparently take a punch. But I mean, let's celebrate the kid for not being, face down in his iPad, face down in screens, shutting out the world around him. And what if this moment allows this woman to finally see herself and she changes and loses a bunch of weight? This could be nothing but good.
Telling her she couldn't fit in the airplane seat.
I really like this kid. Fucking kids got balls.
When witnesses say Crampton began hitting the child with her fist.
And that's, as you know, as the kid said, she's a big fat Miss Piggy. So that's a big ham hock, fat lady fist that smashing into a little kid's head.
And then hit him on the head with a water bottle. Then the report says she slammed the child's head into the airplane window.
And the whole plane counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Amy with $5 says, welcome to Florida. Come on vacation, leave on probation. In fairness, I did it the other way around. Thank you very much. So she's not having it. This is just, it's one fat joke too many. Fat Miss Piggy. I bet you can't fit in the airplane. Everybody got their shots in, right? The kid got to talk his shit. The woman got to beat the living fuck out of him. The plane got entertained.
The child used his arms to cover his head.
Nice defensive skills. All right, good. Little winky right action.
Police haven't said how old the child is, but Crampton told police that the child was very rude and disrespectful during their trip to Disney. And
correct. The child was being very disrespectful. I can't tell her she's wrong on that account. He was being a dick.
That after the child called her fat, she took his phone away. She claims he then pushed her arm off the armrest twice, and that's when she began smacking him. But police and witnesses say she went beyond typical disciplinary actions. One witness saying the woman was not correcting the child, she was abusing him.
So, these are people who probably think this kid was being an asshole. But even then, they're like, Jesus Christ, you went a little too far. Smashing the kid's head against the window? Calm down.
The report says the FBI was notified because it happened inside an airport. A Seminole County judge granted the woman a $10,000 bond. Reporting in Sanford, Ashlyn Webb, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, the kid got his licks in, and then she got the counter punches in. I would say, the whole plane was entertained. I would say win, win, win. Let's go to Chev Maddock. Yeah, first Yankee goes, she went full WWE. She did. It was a 100% WWE kind of a deal. Chev Maddock with $2 says, I was in Daytona Beach a week before you were in Florida. You ain't kidding about how fucking hot and humid it was there. Yeah. I mean, it takes some getting used to. And then you get used to it. And then once you get used to it, you come back to Minnesota and all of a sudden 70's cold. I don't like that. Hulkamasha Baby with $1 says, we've been making fun of you for years. Hasn't made you lose weight yet. I go up and down. Ed Harlow says she's fat, so it's more like TNA. All right, fair enough. My Lost Interest says Aaron's Miami Vice blouse is not just a shirt. It's a gay manifesto. Well, don't spill my secrets, for God's sake. Lucky Leon says, yeah, fuck that kid. Unless the kid is black, then my racism trumps child abuse. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I didn't realize that there was a ranking system. Fair enough. Thank you very much. 170 away from tonight's goal. Do me a favor, everybody start throwing in. We're not doing so hot. We're not doing so hot tonight. I got to be honest. I like the show. We got over 300 of you checking out. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow, but we ain't making any fucking change tonight. So if you're entertained, if it's a fast-moving show, we've already killed an hour. We do need to hit these goals. That's the only thing. Let's hit these goals. We don't pull in the bucks. We pull in the views. We pull in the entertainment. We do the best show anybody does. The money is a little, it's a little up and down. We do end up knocking them out, but I really would like it if you guys didn't wait until the last minute. I think I could put on a better program if we, got this thing going a little earlier, because it does stress me out. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships. I'm singing. Let's provide the supper. We got Tim Pool versus Nick Fuentes. This is a feud that I'll always like. I really, really like the Tim Pool Nick Fuentes thing, because for Tim, he doesn't really know if he should mention Nick Fuentes, because a lot of Tim Pool fans don't really know who Nick Fuentes is. He's kind of a fringe figure. He's pretty hardcore to the right. He's way to the right of Tim Pool. Nick Fuentes usually gives Tim Pool a lot of shit about his Israel lackeyism. And I don't know how much Tim Pool has to gain by going after Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes has nothing to lose talking about Tim Pool. Tim Pool has a lot to lose addressing Nick Fuentes because a lot of his audience doesn't know who he is. Well, Tim Pool tried to pull some mental kung fu gymnastics by claiming it's actually Nick Fuentes who's Israel first, which I'm sure that makes Nick's blood boil. Although, look, I think Nick Fuentes just gets excited when anybody mentions his name. Plus, I'm not necessarily sold on the fact that Nick Fuentes isn't some kind of CIA, controlled opposition and or also gay. But Tim Pool got into it with Nick Fuentes just a little bit. Let's see. I got to see the mental gymnastics we pull, because Tim Pool has been getting a lot of criticism for having secret Jew meetings with the Israelis, simping for Israel no matter what they do, shutting down any talk of the USS Liberty, all that kind of stuff. Let's listen to Tim Pool talk about Nick Fuentes and the Groypers.
If someone came to me and said, I don't like the U.S. spending money in these foreign wars, Ukraine, Taiwan, Israel, Afghanistan, Iraq, I'd say, oh, I understand.
I'm totally with you on that.
But when they come to me and they say, the U.S. shouldn't be spending money on Israel, I say, what about other countries? No, Israel. And I'm like,
well, okay, now wait a minute. I can see both sides of that. But Israel is the one we're consistently giving money to, and they're not in a war with another country. They're just bombing this occupied zone after, rockets that don't kill anybody get launched. Now, October 7th is a little bit different story, but I think they've won the body count of October 7th. I think they've doled out the punishment over the last year and a half for October 7th. So I don't really see how there's a hypocrisy in people saying, no, Israel, we shouldn't be giving the money to Israel. I mean, that is a good starting point, because that's the one that gets us in the most trouble. That's the one that motivates the most terrorist attacks. That's the one that gives the United States most blowback. I don't think people are running trucks into crowds of people and blowing up suicide vests because of the Ukraine war and our backing of that. But our backing of Israel, 9/11, Khobar Towers, USS Cole. All of that can be traced back to the United States and their meddling in wars on behalf of Israel. So I don't think it's hypocritical for like Nick Fuentes and these other people to say to be laser focused on Israel. That's kind of the big one.
Like, dude, the only thing you care about is that you are Israel first and foremost. All the Groypers, Nick Fuentes and everyone there, Israel first. The only thing they ever talk about, they won't shut up about it. They love.
Oh, so all right. So Tim doesn't like being called Israel first, Tim Pool. So he's trying to spin the Israel first thing by saying, no, Nick Fuentes and those people are Israel first because they only talk about Israel first. That's pretty weak. I got to say, Tim, that's pretty fucking weak. It's a funny little word game I know you're doing, but dude, if you're that upset about people giving you shit about your Israel support, just say so. This is not a good look.
Of Israel, I get it. They hate it. They hate Israel. They hate AIPAC. They hate all these people, but it's the only thing they talk about. They act like no other problems exist.
But like Israel and AIPAC directly influences our politics. You could argue with the Kennedy files they released, AIPAC and Israel and Mossad may or may not have been somehow involved in the Kennedy assassination or helped inspire the Kennedy assassination. Like, these are things that should be a priority. AIPAC lobbies to get America to fight Israel's wars for them. So, yeah, I think people are allowed to make that a priority before, say, Ukraine or Iraq or Afghanistan or anything else. We left Afghanistan, by the way.
Right. And I'm like, the point is, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing in your mind is Israel. For me, it's America. How do we secure our borders? What's going on with fentanyl in Canada? What's going on with illegal immigration from Guatemala into our country?
This is one thing I hate about Tim Pool. He's always the good guy. He's always got it right. He's always just the patriot waving the flag, and everyone else is just obsessed with Israel or they're racist. Tim Pool came from the left, and he's still got a lot of that lefty shit in him where, racism, ooh, that's a good one. Let's use racism. Let's use bigotry. Ooh, anti-Semitism. Yeah, let's see if we can get them back on their heels with that. And then he goes, and I'm just a patriot who's about America first. And then why are you going to secret Jew meetings under the mountain that you can't talk about on the show? That doesn't sound very America first. Oh, I went to a meeting with Netanyahu. Why? You don't need to meet with Netanyahu. You're America first. I don't get it. Oh, and I can't talk about who was there, and I can't talk about what we talked about. Oh, so you have an allegiance to the secrecy of another foreign world leader instead of your mostly American audience claiming you're America first. Look, I'm no Nick Fuentes guy, but I'm not going to pretend Tim Pool isn't full of shit just because I'm not a Nick Fuentes guy. Nick Fuentes and his fans have a reason to object to our aid of Israel first because that's the big one. That's the one that gets us in the most trouble.
So when I have a list of countries I care more about, I'm like, first of all, American labor. Are we helping Gen Z get in the labor force, buy houses, and have families? That's the first thing I'm thinking about when I wake up.
This is a deflection strategy that Tim Pool uses a lot. He even used it with Adam Conover. And Adam Conover's a douche, and he made Adam look better than he ever had any business looking. Because Tim does that deflect and obfuscate thing. Why are you criticizing Israel? I'm thinking about American jobs. Well, so am I. So am I. I agree with you on that. I agree, Tim. Now let's do Israel. Well, no, I want to talk about Gen Z getting in the workforce. I think that's important, and I think we're working on that. All right, Tim, let's talk about Israel and their influence over our foreign policy. Why don't you want to talk about other things? I can talk about plenty of other things. Why don't you want to talk about this one?
How do we build culture among Americans? How do we get people to be moralistic in our country? Then I'm worried about Mexico. They got cartels. They're shoveling drugs up to our country.
This is classic deflection.
Borders insecure. Then I'm concerned about Guatemala. Then I'm concerned about El Salvador. Then I'm concerned about Honduras. Then Brazil. And at some point down the list, I'm like, there's Israel. But these people wake up.
Whoa. What do you think about Israel? What do you think about it? Tell us your thoughts. Tell us your feelings. You're getting all worked up about it. You're going after Nick Fuentes. Tell us what you think about it. God, watching two gays go at it is just really catty, isn't it? Nick, Tim, it gets really gay under that beanie.
Up every day, bashing their faces against the wall, screaming the word Israel.
No, they're not. It's a topic they happen to be passionate about. They're also not very big fans of Jews. I will lay that out there. They're also not big fans of Jews in general.
And I'm like, you are Israel first. And I hope you hear me.
Clearly, they're definitely focused on Israel far more than they are on the U.S.
Yep.
No, they're not. Because their whole focus is the United States should not be so focused on Israel. They are, and again, fuck Tim Pool for making me defend Nick Fuentes. They're talking about how America is influenced by Israel and how America fights Israel's wars for them. And they don't like that. They don't want it. So they're not far more focused on Israel than they are America. They're talking about America's involvement with Israel. Tim Pool, I know that we have some fans, and they're wonderful fans, and they're great, who really like Tim Pool, and they give me a hard time for criticizing him. But I can't not notice when someone's completely full of shit. And Tim Pool is an obfuscating, deflecting, full of shit guy.
And that's why when they said they would vote for Joe Biden over Donald Trump, I said, that is a person who would burn this country to the ground because they care more about Israel. They hate Israel, but Israel matters so much more to them. They would see America burn if it meant bad things happen to Israel.
America burns because of its allegiance with Israel. What is he talking about?
I'm just like,
as the kids would say, this is cope. I watch people cope about me all day, so I recognize cope.
Despite your face, yeah.
I don't know why you care so much. And they live in these crazy worlds.
Because we throw them billions of dollars of our money. They drag us into wars. They dictate our foreign policy sometimes. It's okay to be concerned. It's a hot button issue. It's a place where World War III could break out. It's important to be aware of what's going on there, Tim, and to be critical.
Where Israel's the most important country on the planet. I'm telling you, it is fascinating how they think Israel controls the weather. I like the amount of, it's not even a joke.
I know, it's obvious that Ian controls the weather, not Israel.
The amount of crazy conspiracies they think, they believe that Israel controls everything, is this secret cabal of Jews that are running the whole world. And I'm like, that is Israel's first you can get. They hate America, and they only care about Israel. It's the only thing they focus on.
Wow, so they hate, you hear that? They hate America. So not wanting America to meddle in foreign conflicts in Israel is now anti-America. Tim, Nick Fuentes should not be in your head this badly. Nick Fuentes is not that important, dude. Honky with $1 says, Jackie getting violent on the plane. She thought the kid was Keanu. Oh, no, Jackie. Stop getting so upset. Miss Tay with $20 says, burn the shirt. It's untoward. I can't. I love this shirt. It also puts Miss Tay at, hold on one moment, third place with $60. That puts Thermodyne in fourth with 50. Toad Climbs Mountains gets bumped out of the top four. Thank you, Miss Tay. Andrea with $5 says, nice shirt, you fruit. I'm glad you're back. Thank you? Question mark. I mean, you did call me a fruit, but I think you're glad to have me back, so I appreciate that. Well, there you go, guys. 150 away from tonight's goal. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep throwing those 10s and 20s in there, and let's get this thing banged out by the end of the night. All the links are in the chat. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's hammer out that 150. We got off to a slow start tonight, but we're right about where we need to be. Honestly, I think $100 by 7:30 and we're aces. That's my opinion. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Go for it. Thank you guys very much. Let's rally up and make it another win for the toe. I am so proud of you guys also for nobody in our top four is over $100 yet. And we've knocked out every goal we have tonight. So thank you guys so much for, working together as a team in this whole thing. Let's keep it going. Let's check in with some of you. Taste Fairy Ialto said some of the female fans here are very untoward. Sam Show says Tim Pool's fans aren't the smartest folk. It's accepted. I don't like the idea that for some reason, if you think America shouldn't be as involved with Israel as we are, that makes you less America first. That just doesn't make any sense. I just don't understand it. We really gave it to those parasocial girls this morning. I believe we did. All right, we got let's see if this is the call we're looking for tonight.
Call from. To accept, press 1.
I don't
to send
know.
A voicemail,
well, no, I'm
press
sorry.
2.
I can't. We gotta screen you. We gotta know who you are. You gotta tell the thing who you are so I can bring you on the show. But we possibly do have a little something happening tonight. Super long shot. I don't think it's going to happen, but it is a possibility. I've got somebody working on it. We'll see what we can do. Let's go to Honky with $2. Says, I could deny the Armenian genocide without getting my bank accounts closed and jailed in 17 countries. Hell, you could get a job with the Young Turks. If I deny the hologram, stuff happens. Jews don't run the world. Amy with $5. Thank you very much. Says, just don't be a pineapple. Yeah, never again. You see what it does to those people? They fucking lose it. Diamonds and Henna with $9.99. Thank you so much, guys. Keep it up. Says, did you have key lime pie in Florida? I didn't. I had, I'm a seafood guy. So I had my share of seafood, but I did not have any key lime pie. I'm kind of when it comes to my appreciation of oysters, I'm kind of a hack. There's a lot of seafood aficionados do not respect my seafood game at all because when it comes to oysters, I have to have baked, seasoned oysters. I don't hate them raw, but I like them better baked. Like I had New Orleans baked oysters in Florida, and I always hate I always hate ordering them because you get a little bit of a look, you get a little bit like, oh really, baked, huh? Okay. It's Haley gonna call in and kiss the ring, says Honky. Oh my God, that would be great. I would accept. If she said, Aaron, I've been wrong. Thank you for getting us to 2,000 subs. You're such a gracious and giving God. We've been wrong this entire time. Another win for the toe. I would accept. Like I said, I've always been a forgiving and gracious God. 100%. Honky said, Jackie and Haley are going to call in to kiss the ring. That's the mystery caller. No, it would be way cooler than that. Way cooler than that. Thank you, Honky, for the dollar. Typing from the perspective of a Jew almost makes me sick, says Bapa Shab. He says, we're just schlepping around the globe. That's us, the scrappy underdogs. Definitely not robber barons at all. Well, yeah, I mean... Well, but if you say stuff like that, Tim Pool's going to say you're Israel first and you're not a real American. Speaking of real American, rest in peace, Rick Derringer, the creator of the legendary Hulk Hogan theme song. Hey, guys, thank you very much. 140 after that most recent rally is our number. Keep going. Let's get 40 more banged out in the next 15 minutes or so here, and then we're going to be looking good for the evening. Let's christen the old PayPal or the Venmo. Let's gift some memberships. Let's have some fun. Remember last night we talked about those two Secret Service chicks fighting outside of Barack Obama's house? Literally, it was two Secret Service broads. It was DEI in action. So one of the women was late. And the other Secret Service agent, I guess she, had a nail appointment or something. She wanted to get out of there, but she couldn't leave until the other Secret Service person showed up. I mean, imagine you're the former president. This person is in charge of your security, and they're getting pissy because the other person's late. First of all, being late to your detail to protect the former president is shitty. But then being someone who's like, shit, I want to go home. I'm going to whoop their ass if they don't show up soon. I mean, those are the kind of people you want protecting you. I don't think women should be allowed to be in the Secret Service until we're out of qualified male candidates. I just don't. I'm not even trying to be sexist with that. That's just how I feel. I feel like the Secret Service would be run better if we went that way. I certainly don't believe these two women should be on the Secret Service. But they got into a fight in Barack Obama's front yard. It was caught on tape. They were weave pulling. They were doing the whole thing. Well, they have been suspended. Not fired, mind you. They need the stats. Not fired, suspended. Big difference. You would think that with the Secret Service, it would be like, what's the group Batman was part of? The League of Shadows. You think it would be the League of Shadows. You know, if you fuck up a little bit, you're gone. But nope, apparently in the Secret Service, you can have a Donnybrook in the ex-president's front yard. And look, we're gonna take you off the beat for a little bit. We'll bring you back. Details surrounding the incident remain unclear. But reports indicate the officers were involved in a physical confrontation in front of the home. The incident allegedly happened around 2:30 a.m. on May 21st, when one reportedly called for a supervisor to respond before, quote, I whoop this girl's ass. If you're Barack Obama and you weren't on the phone today with the Secret Service going, what the fuck kind of clown show are you guys running here? Or Michelle Obama letting her big dick hang out and calling and bitching somebody out. I mean, these are the people who are responsible for protecting your lives. And they're sitting there going, I'm going to whoop her ass. She don't get here soon. I'm going to whoop her ass. Great. A video published Tuesday by, there's Secret Service agents who protected presidents for like decades. And when they retire, they like get emotional. They get choked up talking about getting to know the president's children, talking to the president at breakfast every morning, and like developing a relationship with them, getting to know their family, becoming part of the family. And then you have people like this who are in the Secret Service, and they're like, if you don't get here before my shift is over, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm just saying, like, one of those things is what we're looking for in this outfit. The other could probably go, and we'd be fine. Might be addition by subtraction. In addition to the audio recording, it claims to show the two female officers shoving and punching each other. So basically, they're more qualified to be a forward in the NHL than they are a Secret Service member. Fox News Digital said Secret Service confirmed the fight. They have not commented on the suspensions or whether further disciplinary action will be taken. It's unclear what led to the fight. Yeah, we just have this little 7-second clip of the whole thing. This is all we have. There you go. This is them that's them getting into their shoving match because, one of them had a reservation at Red Lobster and the other one was late. Here she is saying she's going to whoop her ass. Here's this clip. This is this is what you want out of your Secret Service detail. Get them out here immediately before I whip this girl's ass. Bravo. Bravo. So suspension, I would think you would be fired. I mean, the Secret Service certainly doesn't need to keep people around who are getting in fights in front of the people they're supposed to be protecting. But again, people, you hate to use DEI for this type of stuff, but this is very much an example of DEI at work. It's not good. And look, man, I know I said that I only want female Secret Service agents after all the males are gone. I'm not saying there aren't qualified women to be in the Secret Service. I'm sure there are. It's just that these two ain't it, and they get in. And when they fuck up badly, like getting in a fight on their security detail, we're just suspending them? Suspended? Doug, kick him off the tour. We're 140 away from tonight's goal. Get it, get it, get it. Let's hammer it out. Let's call that 140 a 0 and get to another win for the toe. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's do all our refreshers here. See if we've gotten any closer. Nope, sure haven't. But we've got an hour. I really encourage you all to throw in whatever you can to the toe. We've only got this goal and one more left, and then it's on to Rumble Friday. Let's make it a perfect. The only thing that could ruin this perfect week for the toe is missing a goal, because everything else has come up aces for the old toe. So chip in a little bit. If you can't chip in monetarily, help the show by hitting like, hitting follow, hitting subscribe. We appreciate it. Please and thank you. This is awesome news. This is kind of a badass move by Donald Trump. These are the kind of moves he makes that I like. I didn't like the Chrisley thing. I don't know if you saw this, but Todd Chrisley and his wife got pardoned today. Why? Like, Todd Chrisley and his wife clearly did the thing they're accused of. It was some kind of like bank fraud, tax evasion type of thing. Clearly did it. And like I said last night, unless Todd Chrisley is going to admit he's gay, I wouldn't let him out of jail. You know, and it's very easy for Todd. All he has to do is say, I'm a homosexual. Boom, you're out. You're free to go. But they're Trump people. They're MAGA people. So Trump cut him loose. Honestly, I think if Biden did this for some lefty that was in jail for the same thing, and they were a kiss the ring Biden guy, I think MAGA people would have a problem with it. I don't like the Chrisley pardon, but I don't like it enough to, have it fuck everything up. And then now Trump is talking about pardoning the people who were convicted in connection with that plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Now, you might hear that and you go, what the fuck? Has he lost his mind? Donald Trump is going to pardon some guys who tried to kidnap a governor? This story is such bullshit. This is the epitome of the FBI creating a crime, selling it to some guys, and then arresting them for buying the crime that the FBI started. So the way this worked, where there were a bunch of militia guys, and the militia guys that are in there, they're in the woods with machine guns, and they're like, if shit goes down, we got a bug out bag, and we can fight the power, and we'll lead the revolution, and blah, blah. I mean, it's modern day LARPing, essentially. Well, the FBI wanted to show that they were taking down domestic terror cells inside the U.S. who happened to have white skin. So and it would also help with the COVID hysteria, because they would say, oh, they're going to attack Gretchen Whitmer because of the COVID restrictions. And these are the crazy people that are against COVID restrictions. We need to protect you from them. So the FBI hatched a plan to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. That's what our FBI did that. Our FBI said, we're going to hatch a plan to kidnap the governor of Michigan, who was one of the toughest and strictest on COVID regulations. So they went to some FBI informants they had, and they said, hey, infiltrate this group and get them to buy into this kidnapping deal of Gretchen Whitmer. And the FBI informants went, okay, we'll give it a shot. So they go to these guys, and the guys are like, fuck no, we're not going to kidnap the fucking governor of Michigan. Are you out of your mind? No, we're not doing it. Come on. Why don't you guys do it? Just take a look at it. Take a look at the plan. And they go, all right, fine, we'll take a look. And then right away, the FBI rolls up, arrests them, throw them in prison. Now, I think their first trial they won, or at least there was a hung jury, because the jury was like, this is like classic entrapment. Like what you guys have done to these guys is wrong. They tried them again. I think they got a plea deal, and they took some jail time. Well, Donald Trump says maybe this is all wrong from the beginning. Maybe the United States government should not be framing its own citizens for capital crimes. Novel concept. So now he's thinking about pardoning the kidnap plotters of Gretchen Whitmer. And I got to say, I really like this. I support this idea wholeheartedly, because, again, there's no way you can look at this Gretchen Whitmer thing and not think, well, this is totally entrapment. This is totally wrong. These guys didn't plan the whole thing. It's reminiscent of the Randy Weaver deal, Ruby Ridge. Randy Weaver was a guy who wanted to go up in the woods. He wanted to get away from civilization, come down once a month to get supplies, and just live in this little, hillside community. Some guys from the ATF came up and said, hey, Randy, we know times are tough. We'll give you $700 if you saw off these shotguns, not knowing that they were ATF guys or FBI guys. And Randy Weaver said, no, that's illegal. I can get in a lot of trouble. And they're like, hey, $700 here in the early 90s, late 80s. That'll go a long way up here. You can, your family can get a lot of groceries, things like that. $700. What do you say, Randy? Just saw off these shotguns. So Randy goes, okay, fine. I'll saw off the shotguns. He does. They arrest him. After they arrest him, they process him. They cut him loose. He goes back up into the woods. He doesn't show up for court. So then they send a fucking armed strike team after him. A shootout ensues. They kill his wife. They kill one of his kids. Oh yeah, they shot his son. They killed his dog and then taunted him about it after, during the siege. So, and then there was this guy, Bo Gritz, this radio guy that they sent there to talk to him, to get him to come out. And Randy Weaver ended up getting like $5 or $6 million out of the United States government for the whole thing. But it was another example of the government concocted a plan, created a crime, and then passed it along to someone else. And as soon as they fell for it, they arrested him. And again, all of it is just so the FBI can say, hey, look at the great work we're doing against domestic terrorists that we created. So here's Donald Trump talking about the Michigan would-be kidnappers.
Will you pardon the people who are accused of conspiring to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer?
I'm going to look at it. I will take a look at it. It's been brought to my attention. I did watch the trial. It looked to me like somewhat of a railroad job. I'll be honest with you. It looked to me like some people said some stupid things. They were drinking, and I think they said stupid things. But I'll take a look at that. And a lot of people are asking me that question from both sides, actually. Yeah. A lot of people think they got railroaded.
Democrat or Republican, I think you can look at the facts of that Gretchen Whitmer thing and you can go, this is bullshit. Because it was basically a speech crime. Because these guys in jail, they never planned to kidnap the governor. They never took steps to actually go kidnap the governor. They never put a plan in place and in motion. All they did was they said, yeah, we'll take a look at this plan to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. That's all. That's a speech crime. That's a thought crime. They didn't actually do anything.
A lot of people think they got railroaded, and probably some people don't.
Well, there you go. That's the answer from the president. I hope he does. It'll balance out this stupid Chrisley thing. That's one of the things if you're president, you get to pardon your buddies. You get to pardon your friends when they fuck up. Let's go to Leah. She says, how much money for you to never wear that shirt again and burn it live on air? To never wear the shirt again, hit the goal. I'll never wear the shirt again. To burn it live on air, $500. $500. I'll burn the shirt. Not tonight on the air. I will go outside this weekend and I will burn it on the air, like on a video outside. I don't want to burn it in here. It'll stink up the place and I don't want to do that. But $500. I'll burn it this weekend. If we hit the goal, I'll never wear this shirt on the air again. Deal? Hey, you know me. I just want peace. I want to hit my goals and I want to do my show. That's all. That's all. MSO says $500. Crazy. What? I didn't ask for the $500. You guys ask me how much to do a thing, and I will always give you a number. I will always give you guys a number. If you think the number is crazy, good. Don't give it to me. I don't want to burn this shirt. I like this shirt. I really do. I bought it in Florida on vacation. I love it a whole bunch. I actually think 500 might be too low a number. Before somebody throws me $500, $1,000 to burn this shirt. I'm now raising the price to $1,000. But, Leah, if you're asking, I will never wear this shirt on the program ever again if we knock out tonight's goal and we can call it another win for the toe. That's how big I am on hitting these goals so we can just do the show. We've got an hour left, and we're 140 away. This is another stressful night for me because I'm like, I'm doing everything right. I'm knocking out the content. I'm bringing you stuff nobody else is bringing you. I'm bringing you the goods. I'm doing an entertaining program. I just can't seem to figure out the money thing. Like, I could sit here and do drama shit all day, and a bunch of really big weirdos who are on the internet too much and are no fun to do shows for would go, yeah, here's more. Talk about this guy. I don't like doing that. I'm a morning zoo guy. Always have been. I'll talk about shit that's going on with me. And I'm an arrogant cunt, so when I'm smacking the shit out of these guys, I will talk about it. But I just want to do my morning zoo. And if that makes it a little tougher to make money, then that makes it a little tougher to make money. But I can always beg and ask you guys and go, here you go. I'd rather do that than be fucking, live my life. And could you imagine you're almost 40 and your whole show is drama? How fucking gay are you? That is empty dollars. Empty calories? That's empty dollars. My Lost Interest says the reason you're not hitting the goal tonight is the shirt. Leah says, I think it's the shirt. Knock out the fucking goal. I'll go change the thing right now. I've already told you. Don't get mad at me. You guys sit there and go, it's this, it's that. Well, I just told you I'm all about the goal. That's my thing. The goal is life. So hit that and we can talk about your thing. Oh, here we go. Chevmatic with $5 says $5 towards not banning the shirt from the show. All right, let's do it that way. We're going to race. Whoever throws in more money, when we hit the goal, we'll do that thing. Right now, it's 5-0 in favor of the shirt. So the shirt is staying if we hit the goal. I'm going to hear shirt, no shirt. I'm going to keep a list. Shirt, no shirt. And we're going to keep track of who gives money and whether they give it to shirt or no shirt. Right now, it's 5-0 in favor of keeping the shirt on the show. And that puts us at 135 for tonight. Dusty Rhodes, baby, says, how much to ban MSO? $1,500. I love MSO. So it's $1,500. To ban MSO. Taste Fairy says, how about you have to wear the shirt for the rest of the week? If you guys knock out tonight's goal and tomorrow morning's goal, I will wear the shirt the rest of the week. There you go. Perfect. See? You guys ask me shit. I'll give you an answer. I'll never say no. Loaded Wrench with $2 says Beach Boys featuring Jimmy Buffett looking ass. I don't know I don't know which vote that is. If that's a vote for the shirt or against the shirt, I'm not sure. But again, we'll see. We'll see. Taste Fairy Ialto says, I also need a membership. A lot of people need a membership. Ass Packer becoming a member for 17 months. Thank you. Sandy becoming a member for 36 months says, I like the shirt. See? People love this shirt. It's a battle. If we knock out the goal tonight, it's whichever side gives more. The pro shirt or the anti-shirt people. And if we don't hit the goal, I get to decide. That's how it works. That's how it works. All right, let's go to something really creepy next while you guys do the Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants thing. You ever hear that we're banning something, and when they announce that we're banning the thing, it's the first time you've ever heard that we're doing that thing? Like, it kind of reminds me of like, hey, we stopped Dr. Fauci from sticking beagle heads into a box full of sandflies and eating the beagles' faces as a medical study. And when they announce we're not doing that anymore, you go, whoa, 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 time out, time out. We were sticking beagle heads in a box to be eaten by sandflies? This is kind of how I feel about this story the Navy came out with yesterday. The Secretary of the Navy came out and made a big announcement and wanted to be celebrated for it and said, hey, guys, great news. Guess what we're not doing anymore? We're not doing a thing that we never told you we were doing in the first place.
Today, it gives me great pleasure to terminate all Department of the Navy's testing on cats and dogs.
Now, I know they want my reaction to be, yeah, That's great. Good for you guys. Awesome. But my initial reaction is, whoa. We were doing experiments on cats and dogs in the Navy? Why? Why does the Navy need to know anything about cats and dogs? Are we gonna land an amphibious invasion force in Shanghai with golden retrievers? There's no reason to be doing experiments on cats and dogs.
Saving taxpayer dollars and ending these inhumane studies. This is long overdue.
What were we doing? I mean, I want to know, but I don't want to know. Kind of want to know, kind of don't want to know. What were we doing to the dogs and cats?
In addition to this termination, I'm directing the Surgeon General of the Navy to conduct a comprehensive review of all medical research programs.
I mean, I'm not crazy. The Navy is still the boat people, right? I mean, we're talking about the boat people. What do the big, giant, floating town boat people need to experiment on dogs and cats for? Nuclear submarines, right? Nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. Jumbo jets taking off from the boat. What does that have to do with doing tests on little puppies and kittens? Can you do me a favor? Can we not only ban the tests, can we throw the people in jail who were doing the tests?
To ensure they align with ethical guidelines, scientific necessity, and our core values of integrity and readiness.
Uh-huh. And then he's going to sign it in front of us. And that's a good thing. He's got to sign it in front of us because the rest of us will be like, I don't fucking believe you, dude. I think you guys are going to keep, drowning puppies in the Pacific Ocean. So you sign that right in front of us, please. And he did. So, look, good news, bad news. Good news is we're not going to be doing any dog and cat experiments in the Navy anymore. The bad news is apparently this entire time we've been doing experiments on dogs and cats in the Navy. You know what we found out in one of the studies? If you hold them under the water for a long time, they die. I mean, so don't say nothing ever came of it. Leah gifting 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Leah. Now, Leah is on team get rid of that stupid fucking shirt. So that now puts $25 in the no shirt category. So it's now 25-5. Now, in order to get your win, the goal has to be hit. That's going to drop us down to 110 for tonight. Our goal is now down to 110, and it's a 25-5 lead for the anti-shirt crowd. And if you got gifted a membership over on Rumble, pass that shit along to the next person. Dusty Rhodes, baby. Phil Herslit, Taste Fairy Ialto, Chev Matic, and Skeezy Whitefish all got a membership. That's also going to put Leah, I believe, is Leah back up in the top 5? Leah's at 55. So, yes, Leah is back in the top 4 right behind Miss Tay. Leah is at 55. Thermodyne Diesel has to be dropped from the top 4. So we got Redbird at 75, JD at 70, Miss Tay at 60, and Leah at 55. We got 2 women in the top 4. I'm an inclusive kind of a guy, you know? End of Silence says, I think a kick in the nuts for just wearing it. It's a great shirt. I don't understand all the jealousy that's going on with my shirt. Guys, I just don't think it's necessary. You know, I think it's a bad look for you to be so hateful towards this particular piece of clothing. So $25 for the no shirts, $5 for the shirts. When we hit the goal, whoever has given the most money, that will be the fate of the shirt on the program. My Lost Interest says if the shirt is preventing you from getting donations, then those same people won't donate to let you know that it's the shirt. Change the shirt now and see if donations start to come in. I can't do it, My Lost Interest. I can't do it. I mean, we knocked it out this morning wearing the shirt. It was tougher, but we got it done. I think if we make a little competition and a little game out of it, I think it's more fun that way. But we'll see. We'll see. Right now, we're only 110 away. We're not looking too bad. Let's all team up, and we can all knock that out by the end of the show. And we can call it another win for the toe, which is always nice. All right, we got a A terrifying story from Kentucky. I will say I'm very happy I live in a place where there are no bears. I know that people say that, they give you that same shit. They're like, bears are as scared of you as you are of them. Yeah, I mean, sure. But there's always a but. You always hear that. I was asking people in Florida about gators. I'm like, gators don't come after humans. They're like, no, they don't. Unless they're laying eggs, then they might attack people. And I'm like, okay, so they will. They will attack people because I don't fucking know if there's eggs around or not. So they will attack people. It just has to be the right, motivation. Same thing with bears. People are like, oh, yeah, bears are scared of people. Unless their cubs are around, then they'll rip your fucking head off. It's like, okay, see, now I don't know when the cubs are around. How am I supposed to know if the bear is in, hey, just passing through looking for some picnic baskets mode, or if he's, I'm going to tear your fucking throat out if you're staring at my kid the wrong way mode? I don't know. I always assume that these giant animals are there to do me harm, and we should act accordingly, which means, defend yourself with some kind of weapon or run the fuck away. And remember, when it comes to bears, you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun the person next to you. So let's do this one out of Kentucky where an unexpected guest showed up in the kitchen.
Hey, welcome back. So you're going to love this story.
No, I'm not, because that looks like a bear lying down on their cupboard. I don't like that.
An eastern Kentucky couple woke up to find a bear in their kitchen, and it was last week in Bell County.
This is the one time where I would actually prefer if it was a large, hairy gay man in the kitchen. That didn't come out right. I'd like a chance. Could I rephrase? Please allow me to just give me one more shot at that. Okay. If my choice is a giant black bear, the animal, not that black is, you get the idea. If a giant black bear was going to be in my kitchen, or an overweight, older gay man was going to be in my kitchen, I feel like my safety is less threatened if it's a large gay man in my kitchen. No matter what, I would still yell the same thing. When I saw them, I would go, "Get out of my house, you disgusting creature!" But I would feel safer yelling that at the homosexual than I would the bear. It's just penchant for violence and all.
That black bear fell through the ceiling of the home. Yep.
Wow.
Yep, fell through the ceiling. When the game warden got there, the bear was just sitting on the stove. The warden was able to run the bear out the open door. So the department determined that the bear climbed up a ladder outside, squeezed through an opening.
That's going to be a fight. Wife yelling at the husband, "I told you to put that ladder away yesterday. Why didn't you put that ladder away? Now we have bears in the house." You didn't hear that growing up? Now put that ladder away. It's going to attract bears. See also what you got to yell when your wife's menstruating. You go, "All right, make sure you got that thing all cleaned up. We don't need grizzlies on the property. Thank you."
The attic. Oh. And you know how those attics just give way when you're standing in the wrong spot? He didn't know to stand on the beams.
Oh,
so clearly.
I kind of feel bad for the bear.
So he went right through the sheetrock. That bear did a Mick Foley through the cell. By God, as God is my witness, that bear is broken in half.
I mean, if I heard a boom and went in my kitchen to find a black bear.
Yeah.
I mean, are you done?
It's funny. This lady's like, I wake up, I go in my kitchen, it's a black bear. She's trying not to let her ghetto side show. She's like, I would go in there, I'd start cutting that motherfucker.
Forever. I don't know.
How could you trust anything? You didn't leave a door open.
This guy's like, wouldn't you run forever? And these two women are like, oh yeah, you are a giant fucking pussy who would never protect me. It's great.
You know what I mean?
I know, it's like, what's happening
You
to
did
me?
nothing wrong.
I would feel so unlucky.
Matt, why haven't you made dinner in the last 17 years? Well, there was that night the bear swam through the ceiling.
Oh, that was a little too much laughter. They're flirting. That wasn't that good. This is actually kind of a shitty joke, to be honest with you.
It's traumatizing.
Milk it forever, yeah.
Oh, I mean, that is bizarre.
Although if it got me out of cooking dinner for 17 years,
you said that.
I'd take a bear in the kitchen.
He's proud of that joke. You like that? He's got a wedding ring on, too. He's going to have to explain this one when he gets home. You and Melissa were doing an awful lot of laughing and joking. You even repeated the cooking for 17 years joke. Do I not cook enough for you? Would Melissa cook more for you, you piece of shit? Tell that bitch she's laughing too much.
That's pretty wild, man. I mean, and then you have to tell all your friends, like, you'll never guess what happened last night.
No, and they won't believe
They won't believe you.
I always told you if I get to come back as an animal, I'd do a bear. I'd be on TV all the time.
This guy's got a ring on. He's gay. He's gay. If I had to come back as any animal, I'd come back as a bear. Well, that says a whole lot of shit about you that I'd rather not think about. Thank you very much. Let's go to Aaron. That shirt, Hobo says, Aaron, that shirt makes me so angry. I hope your headphones give you tinnitus. Well, I do have some good news for you. I think my hearing is starting to go. Not starting to go. I think it's been going for a while. I think maybe not tinnitus where you get the ringing and stuff, but I'm definitely a lot more deaf than almost 20 years ago, 19 years ago when I started wearing these. Well, boys and girls, we got 45 minutes left in tonight's show. We've got $110 left to go in the goal. Let's bang it out. Let's call it a win. Throw in a few dollars. And let's have a perfect week of evening shows. That would be nice. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. A few more of those 5 gifted membership deals. We can call this thing done. Yeah, Bapa Shab, what's this deal about? I saw this. iDubbbz got pegged or something like that. What's the deal with iDubbbz and the shit in the butt? iDubbbz pegged. Okay, here we go. That's now in my search history. iDubbbz pegged, creator clash in flame. Oh, the casino.
Oh, buddy! iDubbbz is...
Of course it has to start that way. Of course it has to just start with PPP screaming his fucking head off.
Been pegged! I repeat, iDubbbz has been pegged! His anus violated by a niece's vile strap.
I always appreciate, what I like about PPP is he always has a way of explaining things so I can understand them. If I didn't know what pegging was, I now know because he reiterated by screaming at me, his asshole has been violated by Anissa. Oh, so that's what pegging is. Okay. I thought we were talking about cribbage. I'm so glad that he elaborated.
Up on from hell. He's bleeding and fecal matters flying everywhere. It's an anal annihilation. iDubbbz, the cock, the rape, the peg.
I think PPP is in a lot better shape than people give him credit for because he may be a big fat guy, but have you ever bounced around and yelled and screamed like that? It's difficult. It makes you lose your breath. And yet PPP does it effortlessly for hours and hours and hours on end.
Creator clash is in flames there. It's all burned to the motherfucking ground. Nobody really knows what the fuck's going on. The fighters have had...
And also, I'm not saying that PPP lies. I'm not saying that PPP indulges a little bit. But I don't know if iDubbbz was really pegged. I certainly don't think there was blood and fecal matter flying everywhere. PPP is a very colorful commentator, shall we say.
Come out and give updates. We got Dad, a.k.a. Nathan Barnett, the weird, creepy fuck that he is, the last of the Jamaican fucking shit.
He's got shit flying out of his asshole, too. They've all got shit flying everywhere. And there's blood, and they're fucking, and there's pegging.
Senator Sweepers fucking out there fighting for his life, trying to tell us all it's okay. It's just delayed a long time into the future.
Yeah, I have noticed that too with the Creator Clash thing. The only people who are still on with Creator Clash, they're like the people trying to hold Kennedy's brains in and going, he might be okay. We just got to get him to the hospital. Maybe they can fix him. It's like, dude, he's fucking dead. His brains are on Jackie's coat. This is not going to be. We're just waiting to pronounce him dead officially. This is. He's leaking pretty bad. I don't think we can save it. No. If we push this, here, put the coat over it. We can keep enough. We'll be able to bring him back. He may be a little vegetated, but we'll be able to save him. He might still make it. That's what they're doing with Creator Clash right now. It's just postponed. It'll be okay. It's done. You don't like to take all this shit from the internet all at once. So you just postpone it at first. You wait for all the heat to die down. Then you just never reschedule it.
Now.
It's in LA, though.
Across
and
the country.
Across the country. So if you purchase tickets or hotels, you are fucked. I don't know what's going to happen.
It's bad, bro.
No one knows what's going to happen, Jailer. Is that Asmongold's dunking on them now? Asmongold weighing in.
Asmongold has been the guy who's come out of this iDubbbz, Hassan Piker, Ethan Klein thing. He's kind of like the toe of this whole deal. He's not involved. He has nothing to do with it, but he's the one stacking the most wins out of it.
It's like,
bring it up.
How could it be this?
How the fuck does look? I like PPP, and PPP has a lot of internet street cred. I don't care how much fucking street cred you have. You should not be able to get away with wearing a Von Dutch hat in 2025. That's still fucking gay, bro. Not only that, how come he gets to wear a red Kool-Aid guy fucking flowery shirt with the buttons buttoned all the way up under his neck like a fucking chemistry dork, and I'm wearing myself a nice little pink flowery Florida thing, and I'm the biggest homo who's ever lived? I don't like it.
God.
Mutually assured destruction.
He's baffled. Honestly, fuck. I don't really know how it could have went any worse if you fucking tried. Holy shit.
Is this all I get to know about iDubbbz getting pegged? Is just that little teaser? I suppose. You can tell Rekieta's their favorite topic, though, because that iDubbbz getting pegged thing is way more interesting than Nick getting blown the fuck out by a girl and seething on the internet all day. But Kino Casino will do a teaser, but it'll be 9 minutes on Rekieta, and that'll be the teaser. And it's you basically did a whole segment. And then you tune into the show and you're like, oh, wait, the whole segment is 3.5 hours long. And with iDubbbz is iDubbbz has been pegged. There's blood and fecal matter shooting all over the room while Anissa puts the butt plug in his butthole. And then they move on to the next thing, and I go, holy shit, I need to know more about this iDubbbz getting pegged, which says a whole lot of shit about me that I don't want to think about. And that's what gets you to tune into the program. Nice work. And I'm going to say it again. I try to do a PPP impression, and my fucking head hurts. It really does. Papa Shab says, you literally picked the gayest shirt. 09 Canyon says, I don't like Asmongold's face. What's his deal? It is weird, right? I like his commentary. I don't mind Asmongold, but he's a creepy looking fuck, right? Miss Tay with $10 says, Aaron looks like he's gained the weight. PPP lost. That fucking hurts. That hurts a lot. Because I look at a PPP and I go, I'm doing all right. And then for you to, oh, man. Now that moves Miss Tay into a tie for second place with JD also. So she benefits from it. It moves us a cool hundo away from tonight's goal. Let's get it done. We got 34 minutes left. We're $100 away. And also, it's $25 to $5, shirt versus no shirt. If you donate and you hate the shirt and we knock out the goal and you're anti-shirt, whoever has the most money at the end, that's the verdict we go with. Right now, it's $25 to $5, no shirt. Dan Vicious with $5 says, pretty sure your whole chat are bots. No, they're not. They're all wonderful people. What's the difference between chickpeas and garbanzo beans? I don't know. What does that have to do with the pegging? Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. 95 away from tonight. Now, a lot of this money is coming in, and it's not sent to the shirt or no shirt crowd. So we're not really sure where some of these people stand on the matter. $95 away from tonight. Keep going. Let's knock it out and call it a win for the toe, guys. I appreciate it. What's gayer, this shirt or that gold abomination you bought in Vegas? I mean, we could hold them up side by side. You know what? Once the show is over, once 8:30 rolls around, if we've hit the goal, I can bring both shirts out and we can see which one is more emotionally traumatizing to the audience. We can see. MSO says, leave the shirt, take the cannolis. 09 Canyon says, I like that awful Vegas shirt. Hey, I'll put on the most embarrassing shirts at the end of the show if we can knock out that goal. You know me. The goal is life. I love everything about my job except the fucking goal. So anything you guys want to do to knock it out within reason, let's fucking go. We're $95 away. By the way, $0 PayPal and Venmo. So let's unleash the power there and see if we can get this hammered out. We're $95 away. I appreciate your guys' generosity. It's very important that we knock those out. That's the cost of running this program every show. So we appreciate it when you guys hit. Let's keep going. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. There's the links in the chat. Grab one. Throw your money in. If you can't throw money in, like, subscribe, help us grow the show. At least take part in helping out the show in one way or another. This fucking twat, Jake Tapper. I hate that this guy is all over the news now. And the whole reason he's all over the news is he's like, guys. A lot of us in the media actually knew that Joe Biden was fucking brain dead. And we're all going, yeah, we knew. You hid it from us. And he's like, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Crazy, right? We're like, no, super fucking shitty, dude. Because we called you out on it for 4 years and you kept telling us we were nuts. And now you're going to write a book? He makes $7 million a year, Jake Tapper, while he was pretending the president wasn't retarded. And now on top of that $7 million a year, he's going to write a book that's going to make him a few more $1 million, and he's going to go, actually, that thing you accused me of, I totally knew it the whole time. Great. Amy with $2 says, all hail the shirt. All right, we're $7 in the pro shirt camp. We're $25 in the anti-shirt camp. Dan Vicious. Oh, chickpeas and garbanzo beans. Never had a garbanzo bean on my face. Chickpeas on my face. Attaboy, Dan. Thank you for the $2. Appreciate it. Guys, we need a lot more than that. Let's keep it going. Let's get this win for the toe all stacked up. Let's hit it. So this is Jake Tapper continuing to go on his little press tour about how fucking great he is for being the first guy to talk about the fact that Joe Biden was brain dead. Let's take a look-see.
And I think that we need to be skeptical of everything that we are told by people in power. And I mean, that obviously should be the mantra of being a journalist to begin with.
Where the fuck was this? I'm sorry. Were you here for COVID? Were you here during the lockdowns? Oh, that's right. You were telling us what pieces of shit we were for not believing the government on the vaccines and the lockdowns. That's right. Boy, I could have used this Jake Tapper 5 years ago. I don't know where this fucking guy was, but apparently as soon as somebody else becomes president, this Jake Tapper goes, we need to be skeptical of everything people in power tell us. But you told us what assholes we were for screaming that at you. I guess he wasn't getting paid enough to take that position, and now that he got a little bump from the book, now it's okay.
If your mother tells you she loves you, get a second source. Right. But we just need to remember that. Like, politicians lie.
Wow. How long have you been in media? 30 years? We're just getting that all settled now. Politicians lie. Again, I'm fine with this. If someone wants to go on TV and say all politicians lie, we should be skeptical. I mean, obviously, I'd be like, well, duh. But it's different with this fucking guy because this asshole peddled all the bullshit, never questioned it, got on our case for questioning it, and was part of this giant movement of deplatforming people if they did question it. And now, because his guy's not in there anymore, not only will he go, oh, yeah, we're back to skepticism now, but he'll throw his old guy that he ran protection for under the bus because he got a little extra money. God, what a whore.
White Houses lie. Power is an aphrodisiac, and we just need to all remember that and not take at face value anything that we're
I want Jake Tapper in Gitmo for this. Like, I mean, the shit we fucking screamed at this guy. The shit we yelled at this guy. And he was like, no, you guys are nuts. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You're talking all kinds of crazy talk now. And for him to now go, look, we gotta be skeptical of all these guys. They're all, they're all a little questionable. Hobo Chili, maybe they're not being more aggressive in their insults of Aaron tonight because you should probably knock out the goal first before you do that shit. I think you should pay for the privilege. Thank you very much. I guarantee Aaron is wearing a poodle skirt and heels under the console. No, you're not $95 short. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing this shit $95 short. No, thank you. K. Fallen the Great, becoming a member for his 36 months, says, is untoward Spanish for fat? No, grande, I believe, is Spanish for fat. Thank you very much. Hey, it's good to know that when we talk to Jake Tapper, he now believes in 2025 that journalists should question everything and that all politicians and government people lie. I just wish that Jake Tapper were around in 2020. It maybe could have helped. All right, when we get a little closer to knocking out this goal, I'll go back to the chat, throw in a couple of bucks. We're $95 away. We've only got 25 minutes left. I'll go into old school radio show mode. We'll just go story to story here. You guys throw in, we'll knock it out. Otherwise, Hobo, you want those, we got to be more insulting of the show, blah, blah, blah. I'll read it when we take care of what we need to take care of. How's that, buddy? Major twit. There's a lot of you who love this show. You're big fans of this show, but Miss Tay, Leah, they're carrying the load here for you. I think a couple of bucks wouldn't kill you here and there. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's knock this thing. I hate doing this all show, but I know what I need. Major twist in the Vince McMahon case. So check this out. Vince McMahon isn't going to go to prison anymore for like I'm going to shit on your chest and like fucking his secretary and like talking his secretary into fucking like the executives in WWE and fucking Brock Lesnar and all this stuff. All of the criminal stuff surrounding Vince McMahon was dropped. Ironically, around the same time his wife became the Department of Education secretary. But Vince McMahon is still being sued by this woman. And now real bad shit happening to Vince as John Laurinaitis, the former head of talent relations for WWE, in exchange for him being dropped from the lawsuit, is going to snitch on Vince. He's going to stooge out the boss to save his own ass. Oh, that's got to really piss you off if you're McMahon. I mean, because if you read the text messages and you read the facts of this case, John Laurinaitis was all in for this stuff. I mean, Vince McMahon was passing this chick around to everybody, and it's not like John Laurinaitis went, oh, I don't know, Vince. I'm not really sure that that's a nice thing to do. I don't think we should be doing it. He buried his dick in Vince's secretary without a second thought. And now when it's time to pay the piper, he's like, oh, if you guys take me out of this lawsuit, I'll tell you everything you need to know. What a fucking viper. Now, Janelle Grant, the ex-employee, alleges that both Laurinaitis and McMahon subjected her to years of sexual abuse and coercion, with WWE superstar Brock Lesnar also named in the lawsuit. Yet in a joint statement issued by both his and Grant's representatives Wednesday, it was revealed that Laurinaitis, who was fired in 2022 after all this went down, has gone full heel turn on McMahon by agreeing to flip on him. What a fucking asshole. If you're Vince, you're pulling out the checkbook right now and you're going, what size check do we need to write? How much does she need to make this whole thing go away? Because this is just a real bad look. God, and then your boy. And you know, this is what's gross. I don't think this should be allowed because this guy was doing all of the same shit. He should not be allowed to just get away scot-free, rat on the boss, and cost him a bunch of money. I mean, look, if Vince McMahon gets punished, fuck him. He deserves it, right? But like this, one of the guys who did the same exact thing you did, just because he doesn't have as much money as you, he gets to turn? That is bullshit. Andrea with $5 says, was there ever an update on the Ricada pug? Also, keep the shirt. All right, there's another $5 for keep the shirt. $25, no shirt. $12 shirt. By the way, if we don't hit the goal, the shirt's staying. I like the shirt. So, got to hit it for this to be official. Leah with $1 says that shirt makes you look like an extra in the Golden Girls. Das Optic Nerve with $1 says, my name is Aaron. And then Das Optic Nerve writes, and I'm a gay F word. That's what Das Optic Nerve wrote. $2 from Landers says, your shirt is horrific and it's hurting my eyes. Also, you have floppy bussy. Long live Nick Scoo. Thank you, Landers. I appreciate it. 85 away from tonight. Please and thank you. $85 in the next 20 minutes. Let's fucking go. $5 from Anonymous Fake Dono. F those people who don't like your Florida shirt. Your shirt is amazing. Don't listen to them. The colors are perfect, not disgusting at all. Reminds me of colors found on bed sheets from the 1980s. Another win for the toe. Thank you, Anonymous Fake Dono. Grand Poobah with $5. He's gonna snitch. And he did. Adam Simon with $5 says, holy shirt. That's cute, right? Holy shirt. You get it? Like holy shit, but with the shirt. Rusty Grammar with $1 says, to all of my Toa maniacs, say your prayers, take your vitamins, and you'll never go wrong, brother. Yeah, Hulk Hogan didn't bury his dick in this one. He's free and clear on this whole deal. Good for him. $75 away from tonight's goal. Let's fucking go. Knock it out. These goals are important. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Throw in a fortune. Let's get it knocked out. $75 away. We deserve a W after another great 2.5-hour show. You know, by the way, this girl was the McMahon chick. She's pretty cute. Don't do that to people. Like, don't, ugh. Like, you want to fuck your secretary, fuck your secretary. That's, you know, power has its privileges or whatever. But, like, to pass her around like a common whore and she feels like she has to do it because it's the boss. Like, it's just, God, it's enough to give you the ick. And you're passing her around a fucking brute Viking like Brock Lesnar. And then a, like, little creepy looking fuck like John Laurinaitis. Like, what an asshole. Like, he deserves to pay. Don't get me wrong. He deserves to be sued. But, like, this guy gets to play the hero now? This fucking stooge asshole reached a settlement to go full heel turn on McMahon and cost him a bunch of money? What a dick. What a dick. Now, Brock Lesnar is named, but I don't, as one of the people that Vince made her have sex with, but I don't think she's suing Brock Lesnar. And I really don't know if she could. Miss Tay says, at least feed her drugs and promise you'll leave your wife for her. Yeah, I mean, at least emotionally abuse her that way, right? Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a piece of shit, give her something, you know, give her some hope to hang on to before you yank it away from her like a common piece of shit. I hear you. I hear you. $75 away from tonight's goal and a little more than 15 minutes left. Let me know we're doing well. I'm not going in the chat and reading that shit for free. Throw in a couple. Look, we're $75 away. I can't be reading free chats right now. Got to knock it out. Got to get the win for the toe instead of taking the fucking L. This is we'll do that one later. That's a fucking depressing one. I don't want to do that. This one is depressing also, but like in a different way. This is kind of like loving, but depressing. So this elderly couple had an F4 tornado hit their town. 19 people were killed in this tornado. But these two, this man and this woman, survived the tornado, but they each lost an arm in the storm. And the reason they lost an arm, you know what? Here we go. While you guys are throwing money at us and we're not fucking losing tonight and we're going to get that $75 and call it a win for the toe because I ain't going to let us lose. Let's go ahead and play this story.
Laurel County husband and wife were badly hurt when that powerful tornado tore through their home. Each of them lost an arm.
This bedroom, and you can see like where stuff came through. This is where they were, and the neighbor came. He heard them screaming for help, so he came to help them, and he pulled them out into the hallway there.
The doctors said that where they lost opposite arms, it's because they were like holding each other.
Isn't that fucking like sad, but also kind of adorable? Like these two, they lost their arm, opposite arms, because they wouldn't let go of each other during the tornado. That's, I don't know whether to be sad or like awe over that, you know? And by the way, if you've, like, I live in Minnesota, so I've seen like, you know, what tornadoes do. If you don't live in a place where there are tornadoes, this is real shit. Like, it's something you think you only see in movies. Yeah, it tears the roof off of your house and makes your entire house an outdoor house now, but like the rest of the structure inside stays put. Like tornadoes are just a different kind of destruction, dude. But holding on to each other, like that's like, you never really know how much you love someone until a situation like that comes along. And if you're still holding on to each other and you're losing arms because of it, neither of you can ever question each other's dedication ever, ever, ever again. Thank you to Colton for $10 over on Venmo. He says, for the toe. Thank you, Colton. We've got 15 minutes left, and we're now $65 away from tonight's goal. Please and thank you. While we haven't done any toe begging for about 2 months now, we haven't done our begging segment. We've still had to push pretty hard to try and get these goals knocked out this week. It's too bad. Aboliticious gifting a membership. Thank you very much, Aboliticious. That's going to put us $60 away from tonight's goal. Get it. Hammer it out. Do it. Knock out the rest. That's not begging. That's encouragement. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Go, go, go. And hammer out that last $60. Rusty Grammar with $2 says, Onion Mania is like a single grain of sand in the Sahara that is toe madness. Oh, yeah, dig it. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. All right, we're only $60 away. No more fucking around. Let's get it knocked out. I don't give a shit if we have to ban this shirt from the show forever. I want to make the money, and I want to make this a fucking another perfect week. Why? Because if I wasn't confident in the program we put on, I didn't think we deserved it, I wouldn't say that. But we fucking do it. We're better than everybody. The fact that we can do a morning zoo. Nobody else could do a morning zoo show and keep it alive. They have to like go, I'm going to follow this person forever and ever. I'm going to do drama, drama, drama. We can do a real fucking show. Nobody has the talent we do to be able to do that. All these guys would fail where I've succeeded. They don't even have the balls to try. Gray Duckling becoming a member for 36 months says, sorry, brother, broke for a bit. Oh, that's fine. Don't you worry about it. Thank you for the $10, Gray Duckling. Appreciate that over on YouTube. $50 away from today's goal. Let's go. $50 away. This is very doable. 13 minutes left. Wouldn't this show be so much better if you guys just did this part up front and we didn't have to do this? It's gross. It's gross. Knock out that $50, let's call it. It's very important to me that we get the win, but I know what this looks like. It looks fucking terrible. Looks fucking shoddy. If you want to know what life is like here in central Minnesota, if you want to know what the big news in central Minnesota is, Aaron, you go over all these stories about everybody else's community and all the embarrassing shit, all the terrible stuff that happens there. Well, what's the big exciting news there? Graffiti. That's it. That's all we got. This is our big story from yesterday. St. Cloud Police Department IDs serial graffiti vandals who caused thousands of dollars in damage. That's what we get. That's our big story. Honestly, the two biggest stories of the year so far, the graffiti and me pleading guilty to a misdemeanor. Those are the two biggest local stories there are. Wow. That's it. We even had Paul Shea had to admit that, too. I was talking to my buddy who's kind of embarrassed of Paul Shea. I met with my buddy in Florida, and we hung out for the day, and he's a mutual friend. And he's like, I don't know what his fucking problem is. He goes, but he really embarrassed himself at that Las Vegas thing. And he goes, I think he just needs friends. I was like, oh, that's too bad. Now I feel bad for picking on him. But he was like, yeah, he goes, he embarrassed the fuck out of himself. He goes, because you kind of tricked him. You kind of trapped him. He goes, you said, I bet you the story you wrote on me was the most clicks you've had all year. And then Paul goes, well, there was one story that we wrote at the beginning of the year, and that one had more. And it's like, oh, no. So you had to admit that I was basically right. You had to admit that, no, technically there was one other one. Okay, so I'm one of the biggest stories there were. I get more attention than you do, and that's what this is all about. I'm sorry. But this is the big story now. St. Cloud PD IDs serial graffiti found. The kids spray painting the buildings. That's the big story here in town. There was a 22-year-old St. Cloud resident and a 16-year-old boy from Kansas who's temporarily living in St. Cloud. They used the tags Besh and Vanish, respectively. Police say the 22-year-old using the tag Besh is responsible for thousands of dollars of damage in downtown St. Cloud. The 16-year-old boy who went by Vanish was responsible for 15 acts of vandalism, causing about $3,000 in it. Wait, 15 acts of vandalism and you only caused $3,000 in damage? What were you doing, tagging Kias? Police say they've sent the cases to Stearns County Attorney's Office for consideration of felony-level charge. I'm telling you, man, Stearns County just does not believe in fucking around. They want felony-level charges on this one, too. They like to throw those felonies out there. Jesus. Thank you very much, Landers. $2. He says, Aaron, this show is amazing. It's the first thing I listen to in the morning when I sit down to rub one out. It's more than I needed. It's really a lot fucking more than I needed. In fact, I didn't need any of that. None of it. Zero. $50 away from tonight's goal. 9 minutes left in the show. I'm not fucking losing. $50 away. Let's get it fucking done. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We've got tonight, we've got tomorrow morning, and that's it. So let's go. Let's get it done. Let's call it a win for the toe. Everybody throw in a little bit. Let's knock it out. All right. No more Rumble Rants, no more Super Chats, so I'm going to move on to the next story. We'll get back to the free stuff once we get this goal thing knocked out. I noticed this when I was flying this weekend. a lot of people, like the respect for the seatbelt sign has gone. You know when the plane lands and you're supposed to sit and wait, and then we'll get to the gate, and then you can, they'll turn off the light and you can take off the seatbelt, you start getting up, and you start getting your bags. It's starting to get like the older you got on the school bus, the less rules you followed. We would on the way there, when we landed in Tampa, there was a lot of clicking before we had even stopped moving. And I felt a little bit like a goody two-shoes. I was like, now, wait a minute. Are we supposed to be doing this? But like a good little follower, I unclicked a little bit early. People were standing up before we even got to the gate. It was a little unruly. Well, apparently this is becoming a big thing with airlines, because the airlines are talking about adding fines to people who do not stay seated and stay buckled. So now we're being treated like kindergartners, lining up to go to the cafeteria. This started in Turkey. Turkish authorities say airline passengers who unbuckle their seatbelts, access overhead compartments, or occupy the aisle before their plane has fully stopped now face fines under the new regulations. And American Airlines in the United States are talking about adding fines to enforce the rules that are already on the books. It requires all passengers and crew members to wear seatbelts during taxi, takeoff, and landing. So the next time you go on a plane and you decide to unbuckle a little early, might be a little monetary punishment for you. I mean, I get it. Cut the shit. Be patient. And also, when you take off the seatbelt early and you stand up early, you're not going to get there faster. You're not going to get to your gate faster. You're not going to get out of the plane faster. You're still going to have to wait the same amount of time. So sit the fuck down, watch your movie, enjoy yourself. Dub with $1 says, 07. Thank you, buddy. We need $50. We need to knock this out. I'm a goal man. I want to hit that goal every night. We're going to keep going. $50 away. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Let's knock it out. Let's call it another win for the toe. I'm just going to keep going story to story until we get this thing hammered out. I've entertained the shit out of you. Let's go. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Go, 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 go. TikTok star Anna Grace Phelan dead at 19 after a cancer battle. Every time I see one of these like TikTok stars that dies like in their 20s, I feel bad when I feel good that it was like a disease or something like that, because you're having so many of these like OnlyFans people, TikTok people, not as many as you see in porn, but like a lot of these young people who make their living online and who get a lot of online fame. This is what I talk about when I say like eternally online, permanently online, and how damaging it is for you. You're seeing more and more of these people either, try to take the shortcut out or who successfully take the shortcut out. And it's because they don't know how to treat the internet like a job. They don't know how to treat it like just, well, here's the thing I do. I make my money. I punch the clock. I go home. I do something else. They stay on and they have a Discord and they talk about that, and it adds stress, and they just get used to this constant state of their muscles being tight and wondering what's coming next instead of just walking away and touching grass. I mean, that's what I'm talking about with like, I could never be one of these fucking drama farmers 24/7, because you have to be a 40-some-year-old man and you're constantly like online, just hunched over a phone or a keyboard and just being a fucking bum. Like, best case scenario, you're a fucking loser who has no life if you have to do the drama thing. Worst case scenario, you end up like these people who find out that they can't handle the shit and they end up losing their life over it. It just really seems like a dumb thing to sacrifice your life to. But this TikTok chick, she had cancer. She had a long battle. It's always shitty when people die. The younger they are, when they have a battle with cancer and they lose it and the whole deal, it all just seems so goddamn unfair that people, that's the thing a lot of atheists use. A lot of atheists go like, oh man, if there's a God, why would he, and that's one I struggle with. If there's a God, why would he let a kid get cancer? It's like, that's a good question. And I need an answer that's a little better than, well, he's testing us and he works mysteriously and you have to trust. And it's like, that's like when a celebrity dies young and they're like a singer and they're like, well, I guess God needed a concert. It's like, no, he doesn't. He has angels that play harp music. He's got plenty of concerts. Don't worry about God's concerts. For God's sake. Don't worry about God's concerts. Let's go to Sandy with $5 says, keep wearing the shirt. Well, don't worry. The shirt ain't going anywhere because we're fucking losing tonight. I'm going to stay on later. Like, I gotta hit these goals for my dignity, for my pride. I can't sit here and go, the goal. And then we're $45 away. And I'm like, well, it's 8:30. I better stop. I'll drive myself fucking insane. The goal is the only thing that drives me nuts. And I would rather stay on a half hour later when we're this close. Like, if it was $100, then fuck it, I'll go. But like $45 away, you guys get in there. Let's knock it out. Like, the goal is my only thing anyone can hold over my head. Everything else, our show is better than yours. Everything we do is better than you. Our soul is cleaner. We don't have to do drama all the time. We don't have to be as fucking gay as you. Just got to bang out that goal. And that's it. So I'm going to keep going. You guys are going to keep throwing in. There's another $5 for the shirt, by the way. So that puts us, it's $25 no shirt, $17 shirt. So if we knock out the goal, when we knock out the goal, because I ain't fucking leaving, we're $45 away. Whoever ends up with more money, shirt or no shirt, that's the decision we make. $45 away, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. This is personal at this point. $25 to $17. Right now, the no shirts have it, but we've got a long way to go with this goal. Throw in Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, gifted memberships, any way you can throw in. Let's get this 45 banged out. I'm keeping my perfect week intact. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow also. Got an update on the Diddy trial. I'm just going to keep digging up stories and keep blabbing my fucking mouth off and trying to knock this thing out. Cassie, of course, the victim in the whole Diddy trial thing. Cassie is getting trashed by a witness in the Diddy criminal trial. Oh, shit. All the while, well, I guess while I was in vacation, I missed a lot. She's in the hospital because of her pregnancy. Oh, God. They scheduled this trial perfectly. That's great. That's not adding extra stress to a pregnant woman. Goddamn felony sex trafficking trial for her ex-boyfriend who dragged her around a hotel by her hair. Capricorn Clark. Oh, I'm sure we're getting colorful names in this trial. A former Diddy employee is being cross-examined by Diddy defense attorney Mark Agnifilo. And she's telling the jury how their relationship changed over time. Clark previously said she used to manage Cassie, and Agnifilo asked why they sometimes did not get along. Clark said in 2008, Cassie went from being a sweet model to a feisty girlfriend, getting more bravado as her relationship with Diddy progressed. No. I hate that shit. Women are so fucking catty to each other. Oh, she went from a sweet model to a feisty girlfriend. No. Fuck that. That was her man. She didn't want people like flirting with her man and going after her man. She wasn't being a feisty girlfriend. You bitches kept bothering her guy, and she was going to stake her claim and enforce it. Oh, she was so sweet when she didn't have the man I wanted. Then she got the man I wanted, and she was a total bitch. No, you were probably being a trifling hoe and getting a little too close. It's more likely what happened. By the way, thank you, Bad News Barrett, for the $5. He says, great shows today. Thank you, buddy. $40 away from the goal. Finish it off. Let's fucking go. 40. I ain't taking an L tonight. Let's keep going. Thank you, Bad News Barrett, for rewarding us for doing a great show. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Get in there, $5, $10 at a time, and let's fuck this $40 in the ass. Let's go. So now Agnifilo asked Clark if she thought Cassie was talented, and Clark responded that Cassie had talent and was very beautiful, but was not talented. See, this is just a catty bitch. That's all this is. Strike this whole thing from the record. There's legal, there's court procedure. I don't know anything about that, but I know people. I know psychology. I know all this shit. And this is just some chick who was jealous that she got top host status. God, just getting so catty. Why? And again, this is a pregnant woman. She was beaten up by Diddy. It's all on video. You know, she was turned basically into a piss board during these freak off parties. And now you got this shitty witness getting up on the stage being like, before she was Diddy's girlfriend, she was so sweet. Then she became Diddy's girlfriend. She was a fucking bitch. Well, because she had what you wanted. Don't lie. Clark said Cassie was more of a studio musician who wasn't the greatest live performer. What, like, again, what does this have to do with anything? What does this have to do with being dragged around the hotel? What does this have to do with the freak-offs? This is just some lady going up there on the stand and, like, getting little barbs in there. Now, Clark also testified Cassie was at times a hard worker, but told the jury Cassie preferred to be with her boyfriend. Oh, my God, what a terrible woman. Clark said Diddy supported Cassie with all the components to make a star, producers, stylists, musicians, choreographers, and says from 2007 to 2012, Cassie got more attention and resources than other bad boy artists. Oh, so that's what this is about. Clearly. That's what this whole thing is about. Somebody was getting a little too much of Diddy's attention. Like, how do people not easily see through this? Clark's testimony is still going on. As we've learned, Cassie is in labor and delivery unit of a New York hospital. It's unclear if anyone inside the courtroom knows what's going on with Cassie's pregnancy. Dub with $4 says 4 + 1 = 5. You know what? The math is mathin' on that one. $35 away. Come on. Let's go. $35. We can do this. Everybody throw in the cost of, and by the way, no drama tonight. The cost of me doing the little fun, silly show that I like to do is we got to kind of stretch things to hit this goal. I'm fine with it, but you guys do the rest. Get in there. $35 away. As I hit refresh, ain't shit happening. I'll come back to the chat when those Rumble rants and super chats are rocking once again. I don't know. Did they just not offer him any deals in this case? Because I really can't imagine that Diddy wouldn't take a deal. I mean, he is so completely fucked on this deal. Like, they've got everything on him. That video, the hotel video alone should be enough to get a jury to go, oh, yeah, he beat the shit out of her. He's definitely guilty on that one. They must not have offered him anything on this whole thing because sometimes they've got a strong enough case where they go, nah, we're going to bury this guy. But he's going down. He's going down hard. I mean, I would really lose even more faith in the system we have if Diddy walks on all of these charges, you know? $35 away. I'm going to the next one. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. I've already embarrassed myself this far tonight. I got to try and go all the way and get this thing hammered out. It's already been a humiliating display for the old toe. So knock out that last $35. Elon, we got breaking news tonight. Elon's out. This was 20 minutes ago. Elon's done. He is out at the Trump administration. Elon Musk says his time working with President Trump as a special government employee is coming to an end. Honestly, I can't believe this didn't happen sooner. He was really starting to piss people off. And then on his end of things, you had the Tesla dealerships getting vandalized, the swastikas being written on the cars. And also, like, the Doge thing was great for the first month or so. And then it just kind of seemed like that whole Doge thing lost steam. And now they got to send, like, a bill through Congress to certify the Doge cuts, and now that's in jeopardy, and you got this big, beautiful bill, and Elon Musk didn't like what was in the big, beautiful bill, so he kind of distanced himself from that. And now it looks like Elon is he's out. The world's richest man announced his impending departure from the Trump administration Wednesday with a post on X. Elon said, as my scheduled time as special government employee comes to an end, I would like to thank President Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. Musk added, the Doge mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout government. Well, I mean, what's the sunset on Doge? It's 4th of July next year, so we're about a year away from Doge being done. You better get these things finalized, and it's like the whole legacy of Doge could be 4 years long, and that's it. Then it goes away after that. I mean, who's to say that the next, unless it's J.D. Vance, who's the next? Like, you think a Democrat is going to run a Department of Government Efficiency where they cut spending? Not on your life. Musk's designation allowed him to work in government for 130 days while being exempt from some rules regarding ethics and conflict of interest. Okay, so, the media is reporting this as like Elon saying, I'm out of here, I'm done. Well, he has to be. He has to leave. Like, if Elon doesn't stick around, he probably has to divest from Tesla. If Elon's going to serve any longer, he probably has to be, like, approved by the Senate, and he has to go through that whole rigmarole of the questioning and shit like that. So it makes sense that Elon's gone now. So this is all the time he had. So this isn't like an Elon's like, oh, I'm fucking done with Trump. Oh, I can't stand this administration. I'm out of here. No, this is the amount of time that he had to do it. Sean with $1 says, take that early 80s porn shirt off, but leave those long 80s shorts on, please. We're $35 away. I ain't doing anything anybody tells me. Fucking killing it, doing a great fucking show. And then we're $35 away. I'll just sit. I'll fucking sit here. I ain't taking this shirt off. Again, you want me to take the shirt? I will take the shirt off. Throw in the $35, make it another win for the toe, and then the shirt will go bye-bye. That easy. Everybody throw in $5-10. Let's go. $35 away from a W. Let's do it. Chrisley's out. Chrisley is officially out of jail. His wife is officially out of jail. They've officially given their statements. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. We got 20 minutes left before I have to leave. Let's knock out that 35. I'm embarrassed of myself today. This is a real bad look.
So what's we've been waiting here, waiting for your dad to come out.
I know.
Oh, this is the daughter. I'm sorry.
Keep thinking any minute.
I know. Yeah. Honestly, this process has been absolutely insane, and I'm just so grateful that I'm going to leave here with my dad. My brother Grayson is there to pick up my mom, so he's waiting. President Trump signed the pardons, I think at around 3 p.m. this afternoon. And it's all due to President Trump, Alice Johnson, Ed Martin, all of them.
There's like no controversy. Like, I imagine a pardon. Like, I understand the pardon for the Michigan guys. They got set up by the FBI. It was a real dirty deal, right? Again, I can't get over the fact that, like, the Chrisleys did this shit, and if Biden was doing this for any of his buddies, in fact, he did, and people criticized him for it, like, Biden would be getting shit. I think this is a dumb pardon.
Truly just shown up, and they've looked at this case with
especially since they didn't make Todd Chrisley admit he's a mo.
Fine-tooth comb, and they've seen the corruption. I have literally been here. I got here at, I think it was 2 a.m. last night, and I have not gone to sleep. I did not bring any clothes with me. I did not bring a toothbrush with me. I brought absolutely nothing with me because I'm just a daughter who wants to take my dad home with me.
I can't fucking listen to her anymore. I think I've stayed too long tonight. I really do. I really think I'm just so angry at my failure tonight on the goal that I'm staying here out of spite. Sean Lenane with a gifted membership. Thank you. $30 even until we hit the fucking goal tonight. And yeah, I'm going to celebrate like I won the fucking Super Bowl if we hit the goal. So keep throwing money. Let's get this last $30 knocked out. We'll call it a win for the toe, and I can stop humiliating myself. Here's one. I'm going to steal from tomorrow's show. I'm stealing stories from tomorrow. Knock out this 30. Gordy, I'll be up in a minute, buddy. I promise. Now Gordy's even getting antsy, staring at me through the TVs. Gordy, go away. Now I feel really bad. I failed my fucking balls off tonight. I'm just trying to get that last 30 knocked out so I can feel like I haven't been a complete failure. Former staffers for Nancy Mace. You remember Nancy Mace? She's the one who released the silhouette of her naked body because she's trying to like own some rapist guy in Congress. Former staffers for Nancy Mace claimed that they had to make burner accounts while working for the Congresswoman so they could boost her image online and fight with critics. See, now this is a problem for me. If our Congress people are going around and like having their staff make alt accounts because they're tired of being dragged on Twitter, this is just another level of distraction. We already have these Congress people who don't show up for hearings. They vote present on bills. They don't do jack shit but sit on their phone all day and make fundraising calls. And now we have what they have to play troll on the internet because they can't stand the people on Twitter saying mean things about them. Jesus Christ, you guys. Act like you've been there before. Jake LaHoot reported for Wired that former staffers of Mace claimed they were setting up burner accounts on a variety of social media platforms to monitor what people were saying about her and bolster her image. She would also encourage staffers to create burner accounts so they could defend her against critics, according to those staffers, all of whom chose to remain anonymous. We had to make multiple accounts, burner accounts, and go and reply to comments saying that things weren't true, even in Reddit form. Oh my God. This is boomer tier shit. Who gives a fuck? We're not passing bills on Reddit. We're not making war declarations on Reddit. Well, let's be honest. We're the United States of America. We don't make war declarations anymore, period. You're not helping your constituents by counter-trolling on Twitter. And you're forcing your staff to make... Your staff could be doing anything right now. And you're having them tweet themselves senseless. Is that why, you know, when you watch those hearings and you watch those, like, question times, and you see the Congress people, like, going on their big, long speech before they ask a mundane question, and you see staff behind them just flying on their phones? That's what they're doing, isn't it? They're all on Twitter under their sock accounts, tweeting about how great Nancy Mace is and how she's fighting for freedom. This is fucking douchey. As if you guys don't do enough work already. Now you're spamming the internet so people think you're awesome. Oh, great. All right. Nothing there. Nothing there. Let's hit refresh. We might, I think we might just have to take the L tonight. $30 away. Nothing there. Got 15 minutes left to go. Looks like, God, guys, come on. Come on. Let's go. $30 away from tonight's goal. Let's hammer it out. I've already debased myself. I might as well get the rest of the way. There's no not humiliating myself from tonight. There's no going back. So I got to knock out that last 30. I need the win. I can't. We have fucked up everybody this week, and I barely did anything. And we fucking owned them and buried them. I don't give a shit about that part. That part's not great. I love reading it. I love seeing the whole internet on my side go, hey, fucking didn't even have to do anything. You got him. I only give a shit about the goal. I love doing my show, but that fucking goal, I hate it. It's the only thing I give a shit about. So tell me I took 90,000 L's in a row. I'll take it. Knock out that last 30. I've had so many perfect weeks in a row. I can't stop now. And I can't trust the morning show. Like, they need all the help they can get just knocking out the one they have. So, $30, let's go. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We're spamming the chat. Go ahead. I'm wearing this shirt the rest of the fucking month if we don't knock out that 30. And that's a goddamn promise. We got 15 minutes left. Make it happen. MSNBC, remember when they fired all of those people? They fired Joy Reid. They got rid of a bunch of other people. They shuffled the deck chairs on the Titanic around so they could, catch up in the ratings to Fox News. Well, MSNBC's new primetime lineup, which debuted on May 5th, 41% drop in viewership. God damn. In total viewers, the network was down around 33% across the total day, 24% in primetime. MSNBC's total day demo viewership sank to 49,000 average. Bro, there's live streams with more people watching. So MSNBC during the day would have 49,000 people watching. And in prime time, 73,000. You understand, like, to give you an idea, Fox News does millions. And millions. It's their second worst ever showing for a month, behind January of 2025. Oh, and so that other worst number was, like, very, very recently. Hey, here we go. Steven with $30. Thank you, buddy. Throw him a Hogan.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
Von Kaiser with $10 says, you got me mad now. And Anonymous says, really pissed I have to help this evening crew. Well, guess what? We just went $40 over and we fucking crushed it because Steel Toe's better than everybody. We knocked out our goal. We went 40 over. We fucking killed it. I told you I was going to do this if we won. And
but I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
If you hate the toe, you fucking lose. If you're me, you fucking won again. Fucking crushed them. If you're anti-toe, you just took the L because we grinded and did what we needed to knock that goal out, and the audience fucking answered. Another win for the toe. And we went over. And then you got Miss Tay with $30 says, show Gordy, lose the shirt. Bye. Well, we knocked out the goal, but the no shirt people won. I'm going to go get Gordy. I'm going to go put a different shirt on. I'm going to retire this shirt from the show. Give me a second. I'll be right back. What happened? I told you I'd bring Gordy. Here he is. And I changed my shirt. Thank you, Miss Tay, for the $30. We got to update. Hold on. We got to update. Where does that put Miss Tay? Oh, Miss Tay's the first one to 100 this week. Look at that. Miss Tay at $100. Redbird in second with 75. JD in third at 70. And Leah in fourth at 55. There we go. And there's Gordy. Look at him. How much do you guys love the shirt? Be honest. Let's go into the chat here. My Lost Interest says, we were tricked. Miss Tay says, Gordy Cam. Hobo Chili says, I hate you. Nicole says, much better shirt. Lander says, what the fuck is this shit? How much to burn that shirt? That shirt is worse. Oh, boy. Here we go. Thank you, Gordy. He's got to go outside, so we got to get moving here in a little bit. What? This isn't... You guys just told me to get rid of that shirt. I got rid of the shirt. I don't understand. I don't know what you want from me. I try to give you what you want, and I just I can't stop. I can't stop failing, I suppose. Thank you guys very much. You ended up $55 ahead. Thank you so much. So not only did we win tonight, but we even got covered for the extra time we did. It's a total win for the toe and an L for the anti-toe crowd. All right, guys, we got one more goal left to hit for the week, and it's tomorrow. Then we get Rumble Friday, where we get to chill, have a little fun, play what you want to play. I'm getting out of here. All's well that ends well. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your night. Too many wins for the toe.